on the offensive end. Obviously, it was still locking in. You will not see this. The crew will switch directly from Bastion over to Zarya. And I know they'll be running Zarya with Reinhardt, and they'll have a Mei as well on the offensive end. So you see Mei pretty prominent here on King's Row.
It's going to be more Mei games as both teams try to get the better wall off on the opposing team's tank, split the other team and go in. And you can take a look at Misfits right now. They're just going in over the top, making life for the other Mei a little bit harder as they approach Rogue. And Rogue, they're just backing up, giving space, and resuming their poking.
Yeah, and there you're going to see the first Mei wall come out from Tavik, going to force them here to the left. But they use that height advantage coming out of the balcony to really get over that Mei wall and not give the opportunity for Rogue to split them up at the gates. It's going to be reinforced, though, picking up one, Tavik with another, and the kills starting to rain in for Rogue.
Once that Reinhardt went down, there was very little that Misfits was going to be able to do. They had nothing to shield them, nothing to stop Unco and others from poking them down, and AKM just rolls in for the extra cleanup right at the end. So Rogue, a full wipe here, going to charge up Reinforce for an Earthshatter, and good start here, the Rogue, where they will build some ult momentum.
Yeah, on the other side of the coin, though, for Misfits, you will have Hedan with that nano boost. You don't have the combination, to use it with, like, let's say a Graviton Surge, and then obviously you can putting it with Soon, using that Death Blossom, but you do not have that right now. You just have Hedan with the nano boost. On the side of Rogue, you just have reinforced with that Earthshatter, like you were saying. Unco now gets his nano boost. Tavik will have that Blizzard, and you could see the Blizzard coming in here to potentially stop Zoom, but it's going to be a big Earthshatter out of Reinforce.
Reinforce charging right in with the fall through after knocking 3 people down. Rogue coming right back in. However, here's the weather report. A Blizzard is out. And it's back and forth both teams. Graviton, though, coming in from crew, pulling in the last 2 members of Rogue while Tavik's in the back. Soundbearer comes out late, though, in Rogue. They're fighting back. They're delaying this soon. Late Death Blossom to the fight onto Tavik, looking around the Reinforce. Reinforce is spinning around, doing a remarkable job of staying alive, but it will be Misfits in the end, going to be coming onto the point and pushing Rogue out.
It seemed like Reinforce was just staying alive forever in there, hopping around, keeping that shield up. Winds came a little late, wasn't able to put a barrier on him, keep him alive a little bit longer. It'll be Misfits taking the point, which will unlock the payload, and then we'll go into the second portion of the game. The payload will move down the streets here in King's Row, and this is an area of the map where you see, that Mei wall just blocks the entire entrance. We'll be seeing if Rogue, specifically Tavik, can make that a prominent part of their strategy.
Rogue right now just being highly aggressive on their defense, but it kind of catches them off guard. Winds going down rather early there, and now as a result, Rogue is going to have to back out and concede a large part of the streets phase. And I don't know about you, X, but it feels like we've been seeing teams get punished all day by Maze for overextending.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot, right? One player just kind of gets caught, and then everybody else has to back up. We've definitely seen it more in EU than NA, because they just feel like the EU playstyle is just so much more aggressive than the North American teams. But you see the payload is moving. AKM trying to get in position. The Graviton Surge comes in. Fantastic Mei block out of the side of Misfits. And then you're going to see Hedan coming through with that Bionic Grenade, and Tavik and Reinforce pick up a kill apiece. AKM still searching for players. He's going to have to back up, though, because the Blizzard is coming in. Nevix picks up 2, and Misfits gains control of the fight.
A big counterplay by Misfits. That was looking bad to the Reinforces Earthshatter, but they withstand, and now they're moving right back into Rogue. Rogue down most of their players right now. It is a Blizzard coming up from Tavik late into the fight to stall things, but AKM, he's still alive. He's moving to the back to clean up on that Blizzard, but soon coming in over the top, taking down AKM, and Misfits will maintain momentum. What great back and forth between these 2 teams, but for now, Misfits certainly taking it to Rogue, and Rogue, we'll see if they can reset up here the defense second, but it's going to be very close as AKM just now respawning.
And does this shock you a little bit? With how strong Misfits have come out, it's going to be soon dropping down with that nano. Just going to be able to take down 2 players. And I feel like this is a big shock to me, at least, CP. I think it has to be to you.
It's a little bit of a shock, and yet Misfits came out very strong earlier today. They seemed like they had an extra gear, and I didn't think this was going to be easy for Rogue at all, and clearly it is not. However, let's take a look at Soon right now. He is creeping over the top. He wants to drop down on Rogue, as I said once more. Rogue does not seem to be aware that he's up here, so Soon is going to have a great opportunity. Jumping in off the top. Death Blossom on the way. Death Blossom from AKM on the other side. Both Reapers going in, but Soon getting a little bit more. Both Reapers, 3 kills each. This is all about Reaper right now, and AKM coming a little bit more on top.
All right, it's been what a lot of the tournament is about. Reaper play has dominated. It's going to be AKM cleaning up the kills there at the end. It's going to be Rogue holding on now on the defensive side of things. Reinforce has that Earthshatter. A very aggressive Reinhardt. Going to see how he's going to use it, put Rogue in a good position to clean up some kills.
All right, and you take a look at Misfits, so he does have that Graviton. The Graviton is out, pulls in 3. But the counter Earth Shatter coming in from Reinforce, perhaps buying some time with the Ice Wall, and Rogue able to deal with that Graviton beautifully. They lose no one, and they're going to rush right back into Misfits.
Yeah, now you're going to see everybody from Rogue just push out the players on Misfits, going to force them back all the way pretty much to their spawn point. AKM now has that Death Blossom. You look, you've seen a lot of nice things from Reaper players, you know, getting in this top area, hiding out, and then potentially like a Graviton Surge or a Nano Boost. They have the Nano Boost getting very close to the Graviton. You expect when both of those are up, AKM to just come down and unleash carnage.
AKM is ready for just that. He's crouching, he's waiting. Misfits is rolling forward, and again, if they're not looking for this, AKM is just going to do this once more. And don't forget, Unco does have the Nano Boost out, so the Nano Blossom combo about to go, and here comes AKM. He's powered up, moves right to the back, a 5K for AKM. Oh my goodness, will he have 6? He will. That is a full team wipe from AKM and Unco.
Yep, that was the play of the match right there. Now you can cut that one, throw it in the replay machine. No need to record anything else. Fantastic play there from AKM, picking up 5 players with the Death Blossom and then cleaning up the last one. And he's going to get back in that same power position. Now the Graviton comes in. Didn't need it on the last one. Going to put in a ton of damage. Not able to pick up anybody. He's going to have to back out, pick up that health pack, but the rest of his teammates going to try and assault. But here comes the Nano Boosted Reaper soon. He's going to be able to pick up 3. You thought the Maywall was going to save Rogue for a second. You know, Tavik put it down in a perfect position, but you know, he just soon went right around it, able to pick up a few with the Death Blossom. Now it's going to be Misfits on the offensive.
It is. Tavik doing a good job to delay there at least for a little bit longer, but Misfits going to get a lot more push off of this. They win one more team fight. They should be able to end the map. The one thing though, they only have is Earth Shatter and Blizzard. Rogue does have the sound barrier, so they are going to be able to rush into this here in just a moment. But here comes Misfits, they're trying to take the initiative first.
And you're going to see the Blizzard go down. Nimic's going to get into his Ice Cube, going to regen some health, also keep him alive. You're going to see a Graviton Surge come in also, and Rib trying to just defend his teammates there at the front lines. He is getting tagged up by all types of players, but here comes Soon. He's going to be Nano Boosted, not going anywhere, bud. You are frozen. AKM able to take him out. It's going to be Rogue getting so aggressive, pushing straight through the payload, now forcing Misfits to fall all the way back.
Now let's talk about time here. There's all of 45 seconds left.
Not a lot of time.
This is do or die here for Misfits. Of course, they could have an even better defense in their end, but Rogue, they gotta be feeling good. They have a huge ult advantage in their bank. Death Blossom, Graviton all up, and AKM, he is perched here once more like an eagle looking for its prey, and Misfits, they have to watch out.
Yeah, and I know Reinforce has that Earth Shatter. They're gonna force AKM out of that position, so you're not gonna have that devastating Death Blossom coming from above. Let's see how they like to play this on the side of Rogue. They're going to drop in the Graviton. Then you see AKM flying through, Nano Boosted. He's going to be in that Blizzard, though, from May, and he's going to have to get out of there. It's going to be Nox taking out Soon. That's a big kill at the beginning of this fight.
It's a big kill, and Misfits handled that really well with the sound barrier, not letting AKM get in on them, the Blizzard stopping his reign, and Misfits now with the momentum. It's an overtime, and they are keeping it moving. They cannot back off for any reason, or they will lose the ability to push the card forward, and it will end right here. But for now, they're going in. Reinforce has to just try and move in. The counter charges out. Reinforce will not touch the cart, and Misfits doing a great job of cleaning out Rogue as they come in. Last-ditch effort, gonna be met by the Earthshatter's Rib. Knocks down 2 and finishes it out.
Oh, that was such a cool play. Like, Tavik was dropped down that ice wall and tried to go on top to challenge the cart, and I believe it was Crew on Zarya. Jumps on top of the payload, jumps right on top of his wall, meets him at the top ropes, able to take him out. It's gonna be Misfits completing the map, and that is a big gut punch to Rogue. You know, they just got off, completing that series against FaZe, completing the reverse sweep, and to lose there at the beginning, Reinforce actually dribbles a little bit of water. It happens to everybody, but
a little bit of trial. You have that much focus on the game, you have a little bit less focus on your dexterity and keeping yourself hydrated.
Yeah, hydration is key. That's what my brother said, but he does a bunch of CrossFit. I don't even know what that really means, CrossFit, but you will see Rogue now go on the offensive. What are you looking for to see in this?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this. I think we probably will see the Hanzo coming out. Tavik's had enough success with it here today that he's still going to go with it. Although every now and then, if he has a bad series with these, sort of goes away from it, says maybe I'll do Tracer or something instead. But given what we've seen here today, I would definitely expect to see the Hanzo field offense, and Rogue hoping to build that momentum by looking for those early headshot picks.
Yeah, and that's what's great about Hanzo on offense. Obviously, you're able to use the Sonic Arrow. You can actually spot where those Reapers on the defensive end are hiding. and you're able to just get those early picks. That is the objective for Rogue. Need to push the payload all the way to the end to win this map. While they'll have some time bank scenarios where they will have some time left over if they get there, with more than 0 on the clock. And now you see Misfits, they have nothing left. And
the only way that Misfits gets extra time is if Rogue completes it in less than a minute. You can not get your second attempt with any less than a minute, but if all you have is, say, 59 seconds, the other team gets a full minute. So for Rogue, the key here is not only to finish the map, but to finish it at least above 1 minute in time.
And now you're going to see that Hanzo come out onto Vic. AKM will be running the Reaper. So those are the 2 players to really highlight on the side of Rogue. Misfits on defense. They'll be running with Soon on Reaper and Nivix on the Mei. Those 2 players have been so fantastic to watch throughout this entire tournament, but Vic trying to get picks here early, knocking down some arrows with Hanzo, trying to catch one of these players just a little bit too overextended on the side of Misfits.
One of the better players that Vic can grab here is, of course, the Mei, stopping the ice wall and all the rest. And right now, he's just going for the scatter arrow. Ana very lucky to be alive here. And Rogue winning the poke war. Look at Misfits. Almost everyone is low HP. Rogue rolling in. They know they have this advantage. They're pushing it. 2 quick kills here from Rogue, and Rogue just going to swarm over this point.
It was a fantastic sleep dart there, putting to Vic away, and it's going to be Crew that's actually able to pick up 2. But you see Unko doing a good job with Ana, knocking down those shots at range, healing her teammates, and here goes Reinforce. He's going to be nano boosted, swinging away, has 3 players in front of him, and it's going to be Ana on the opposing team, keeping her teammates alive. There goes a big Earth Shatter, though. Should all be cleaned up for Rogue. A big pin on Crew. Oh, answer right back. It's going to be Reinforced. Pinned to the wall there by Rib, and Rib trying to hold on here for Misfits.
Misfits is doing a remarkable job of actually holding this on there after they lost so many people early on. The fact that they were able to delay and stall, this is almost certainly still a losing battle, but it's a losing battle where they've burned a lot of extra time off the clock, at least a minute, and I think that's important, Max.
Yeah, now you'll see Nivix get out of this with the Blizzard, and I wonder if he'll use it here, and he does. He has teammate support. Look at everybody from Misfits flying in to help. Huge play from Misfits as they're going to get a defensive hold. Everybody wiped on the side of Rogue.
That is actually ridiculous for Misfits to be that behind in momentum, to go back, stay alive long enough to have that combo, the nano boosted Reinhardt with the Zarya, cleaning everything up. Rogue let that one slip away, and now them getting first is not guaranteed, as Soon off the flank, picks off to Vic and runs right off, got the prize he was looking for.
And now in this type of situation, ZP, got to get your opinion. Do you think about switching off the Hanzo here? I mean, your Vic has been good with Hanzo throughout the event. Do you think about trying something else?
After the combo that's coming up, Wynn's about to have Gravitons, Vic has Dragon Strike. If it doesn't work out here, I think we absolutely see Vic switch to a Tracer, but here we go. AKM right to the back line. Nano boosted Reaper picking up the triple. Seen this time and time again. It's 4Ks now for AKM, and that should be it. Misfits definitely not gonna be able to stall it out this time.
And I feel like, the nano boosted Reaper, that's been kind of the big story of this event. That's what we've seen be most successful. AKM puts it to great use there. They're going to get the payload and now start moving it across the map, and Zveek still has that Dragon Strike, and Wins also has that Graviton, so they still have that great combination that they could use here.
And this is where Rogue can really make up for lost time, where they had some trouble getting through and capturing first, but if they can land a big combo here with Wins and Zveek, this is going to be big for them. They'll get through the streets phase more painlessly than they otherwise would. And for Misfits here, you gotta think that they know this is coming. They need to spread out, but they're not doing that. They're all clumped up. This could be absolutely tragic. Here comes the Dragon. The Dragon is hungry. The Dragon is sated, gets the triple kill, and everything working out for Rogue.
I feel like if you are on the side of Misfits, you have to know that Tavik has that, right? I mean, you have not seen it come out. You have not seen the Graviton. You gotta be more prepared for that.
That's what you would think, but surprisingly, a lot of teams in Overwatch are not all that great about keeping track of Zarya ults. I mean, I don't know about you, X, but I think when you pub, you're always going, hey, wait, is the Zarya going to do this?
No, I'm fantastic at it. I keep track all the time. It's my teammates who are just absolutely clueless.
Never a mistake.
No, yeah, well, I mean, that's usually what I do. I just blame all my teammates for all of my problems as well. That's going to be reinforced. Going to get stuck in a Graviton. It's going to be Soon coming in, nano boosted, and he's just going to try and get out. Going to play his life. It's not going to last long, though. Rib is going to take him out soon, putting a lot of pressure on the back line of Rogue. Going to force them now all the way back, but Rogue does have some ultimates to work with in this next fight. They have the nano boost. They have that Earth Shatter to combo.
So Misfits able to stabilize here. They do have the Blizzard up and ready. And more importantly, they're going to have Sound Barrier here for the next fight. Rogue is not going to have it. So Misfits, again, they can take a much more aggressive approach here into Rogue. They can wait for Rogue to come up and just Sound Barrier right into them. That's it. AKM able to take out Rib really early on here, and that adds a different tilt. But Nevix, the Blizzard out, freezing 3, setting them up for 3 kills. Rogue gonna have to back out here once more.
Oh, and Unko trying to put Soon to sleep, but that Maywall and also Barrier coming in from Zarya, just 2 big factors not letting him do that. It's a good hold there from Misfits. They pushed up, nope, got a bunch of kills, fell all the way back, and Rogue is not going to chase in that scenario. They are man down. Now you're going to see Rogue. It's hard to push up. It's going to be AKM teleporting here up top. He's going to come around the corner, has that Death Blossom to work with, and Unko has that Nano Boost. You expect that to be the combination here.
AKM moving in. We've seen this. Double kill, but oh, the counter! Soon says, I can do that a little bit better with the Earth Shatter. Ends up picking up 3. Misfits with a big counter strike right there.
Oh, the emote's coming out. It's like, I feel like, you know, in other esports and other shooters, you see the bags coming out a little bit. I feel like the emotes kind of replaced the teabag scenario here in Overwatch. I think it's a much better, healthier method of taunting, and you see Soon just playing so patient in this alley.
It's extra styling. Soon right now is waiting for Crew to set him up. Crew's gonna call that out, he's gonna go in, but he just says, you know what, I'm just gonna take out Ana in the back. Removes her immediately. They're not gonna have to worry about a Nano Boost. And we do have a switch up here. Tavika's on the McCree, has already picked up 2, but Nevix making things awfully chilly right now. 3 members of Rogue are frozen as the remaining member of Misfits trying to clean it up, and they do.
And you see now Tavik switching over to McCree, just putting down these shots at range. Some nice tags there onto May. Those big May ice walls, just trying to help Nevix again teammates get away. It's going to be a push from Rogue, just going straight through. Hedan actually takes out Tavik, so Hedan making a big play there on top of the payload. Reinforce goes back for him. Swinging his hammer wins that fight. You see Nox now, he's going to just pull players back for Rogue, trying to disengage here, but the fight is being brought here by Misfits. The Sound Barrier going to come in for Misfits as they try and push up. Wins though with that Graviton Surge. Here comes AKM, cleans up 2. It's going to be Rogue moving the payload forward. 9 seconds left to get to this next checkpoint. It's not an easy stretch for Rogue by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to get that second checkpoint, give themselves a little bit of time to get the third.
All right, and let's take a look at AKM. They do have a little bit of time, as you mentioned, 1:20, but AKM now in the teleport position up on top. Oh, wait, we're going to have a Reaper fight here. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, wait, I'm the only one up here. No, you're not.
And he knows he's right around the corner, and you're going to see opposing Reaper soon, just trying to challenge down low, and it's going to be AKM dropping down, trying to help some of his teammates as the May Blizzard comes in. Going to try and take out, Soon gets 2 players there. You see he's Nano Boost at the top of your screen, picks up Lucio, trying to hang out in the back. Fantastic hold here for Misfits, 55 seconds to go. And look at the side of Rogue, though. You do have a lot of ultimates to work with. You have the Sound Barrier, you have the Deadeye, you also have AKM with the Death Blossom and Unko with the Nano Boost. On the side of Misfits, you don't have anything to work with right now. You're just getting the Graviton Surge, and you will have the Earth Shatter, but that will be all.
The key for Rogue here is that they're going to need to save some of these ults. They use all these ults to win this fight. They're going to be in poor shape for the fight after. Here we go. Graviton is out first by Crew. Sound Barrier is down. AKM with the Death Blossom back only picks up 1. It is relatively even right now between both teams. AKM trying to turn it the other way, but look at the Earth Shatter in from Rib, knocking people down in the back line, setting up Soon, and that is going to be Misfits holding. Only 13 seconds remaining for Rogue. I don't know if they can actually force overtime.
I mean, right now they are in a bad spot. They have no ultimate abilities to work with. They got to get over to the payload as soon as possible. 3 seconds left. It looks like they're going to get 3 players on it, trying to contest. You see Unko just trying to heal from afar, going to throw down that bio grenade. Soon comes through, though, with a big Death Blossom with Nano Boost, and you see everything going in favor of Misfits, and they will take map number 1.
Misfits coming out strong. They looked really good earlier today. They still look good now. And sometimes you wonder, does Rogue still have what they need in their tank? They had a brutal series against FaZe just a moment ago, and Misfits definitely looked a bit of a cut above. It was close, but in the same though, I didn't feel like Misfits was in particularly danger of losing there.
But I feel like, too, Rogue, I feel like the FaZe match should be a little bit of a wake-up call for them, right? They probably thought they were going to come in and, steamroll through the EU side all the way to the grand final on TBS on Friday night. And it is just not the case. I mean, that FaZe match, that could have went either way. And now coming in here, losing that first map to Misfits, this is not what this team expected.
No, not in the least. And for Rogue, it's going to take a Herculean effort. I mean, the only thing about this for Misfits, though, after seeing the FaZe series, you never can count Rogue out. Even if Misfits wins the next map, Rogue is still a real threat of taking this. They find a way of finding a hidden gear right when they need to.
I tell you what, though, those reverse sweeps, though, I mean, it is difficult to keep putting those together. Let's take a look at some of the clips from King's Row. Now, you know, I feel like Misfits is just not like a really flashy team, but they always just seem to come out on top of these team fights, and they do a great job of just stalling out, buying themselves enough time for their teammates to get right back into it, and then they just find their ultimates perfectly.
The interesting thing about Misfits is that normally I would agree in full with you and say that they're much more of a team than other teams where they rely on a handful of like star players, but Soon has been doing so well, today especially, along with Nevix. I feel like they've developed more star power than they're recently known for, and it's been a big reason for their continued success because they've had both the really good team play and the extra crazy contribution of a guy like Soon.
It's like I almost feel like, you know, watching them, it feels like almost like I'm watching like Fnatic from the NA side where they're playing around Vods with that Reaper, and he's just making these crazy plays.
It's been great to watch, and for Rogue, they're definitely going to have a little bit of trouble moving forward. I will say that Rogue, you take a look at their offense here, they still ran with the early Hanzo, and they took a while for them to get things going, and I feel like that's been somewhat of a trend on the day. He's had more bad openings with Hanzo than good. The good openings have been great.
Well, so why do you think they just keep going back to Hanzo? Like, is it something that, you know, they probably just practiced over the last few months? Is it something that, I mean, I think, at least for me with Hanzo, it's like it's such a high risk, high reward. Like, if you get that first pick, it opens up everything.
It is high risk, high reward, and I think they go back to it because that's what they normally play on it, and maybe it's just variance rearing its ugly head here, where Rogue has just been having more unfortunate luck. It is a variable hero, but the times where Tavik hasn't gone for the Hanzo, has gone for something like a Genji or a Tracer, I feel like it's been a bit more consistent overall. And it's, again, it's not that Hanzo can't have its moments early on. Clearly we've seen Tavik start up quickly, but I don't know.
And we'll show you guys how we got to this point today. It was FaZe this morning getting revenge on Dignitas, winning that series 2-0. Misfits was able to do quick work to Luminosity winning that series. And then this is where you start to see some of the upsets, some of the crazier matches of the day, right? Misfits in an upset of NIP. Everyone was talking about NIP coming into this event. And they lose there to Misfits in the EU semifinals. Then Rogue barely squeezes by FaZe Clan. The console gamer inside of me kind of wanted FaZe. No FaZe envy thing going on here. But we have two fantastic teams, though. As you will see, Rogue versus Misfits in the EU Grand Finals. It's going to be Misfits up 1-0. And map number 2 in the Series EP, it's going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar. Does this shock you at all?
Not really. Really, when Rogue has problems and they do lose a map, they do like going to Gibraltar. They've seen it as one of their stronger maps. We'll probably see the Hanzo coming out again, too, unless Tavik says, you know what? When we had to do our mad overtime dash, going the Tracer to begin with was actually really good. Maybe we'll go back to that. I would actually like to see Tavik more on the Tracer just because the times we've seen him open with on Gibraltar, it's been really good. But he might go with his tried and true.
Oh, look at that. Fashion spin of the tire around. Some nice stuff in the spawn. Beautiful sunrise there in Gibraltar. I don't know where Gibraltar is. I assume it's a real place.
It is, in fact, a real place.
It is?
It is, even though it's not a common place you would know.
Who knew? I know like 4 places, so that's not really surprising. I have no idea where Gibraltar is. But it'll be Rogue on defense to kick things off. It'll be Tavik running that Genji. And that's actually a question I was going to ask. You know, you saw Shadowburn so effective with Genji. How good is Tavik on that hero?
Tavik is one of the very best Genjis in the game, full stop. He's been known for it for a long time, was one of the big pioneers on it, along with your other known Genjis like your Shadowburns, your Seagulls, etc. He's great on it, and it's definitely something that Misfits is going to have to keep an eye on. And he can build ultimate on that hero incredibly quickly when he's on.
And it's interesting on the side of Misfits, you see Soon, he's going to be going to run Tracer, and you see Nevix, he's going to be running the Reaper. So, you know, a hero that we've seen Soon do so well on, he's going to give up to a teammate, try and make Tracer work for himself, but it's going to be Crew trying to force this fight here at the end of the server room for Misfits, and it's going to be AKM and Reinforce shutting it down for Rogue. A very good first set of engagements for this Rogue team.
It's beyond very good. It was so decisive that they are working on building a big ult advantage here. Dragon Blade is soon to be up, Nano Boost is already up, and Unco might go on the wild side here, give the boost to Tvik and let it hang there, and that's going to be a little bit rough for Misfits to deal with.
So how do you decide, before you go into a fight or whatnot, who is going to get that nano boost? Is it strictly based off, whether AKM has ult or Tvik has ult, or is there kind of like a pecking order in terms of who gets the nano? Well, I answered the question. It's going to be AKM. Regardless of Tvik's ult, he's going to get the nano boost, plow through, and pick up one.
Yeah, they didn't even feel like they needed to use Dragon Blade there. Tvik's just to save it. We'll put the nano on AKM and go from there. It depends on who's up, what their health is in the situation, but in that case, they felt confident in throwing it on AKM, and it absolutely worked out. And again, you look at the ults here, Misfits really not in the best of situations. They're not going to have Sound Barrier up for the next fight, nor Death Blossom. They're going to have to do a lot with pretty little. Otherwise, Rogue is going to win this next team fight with ease. Yeah,
I mean, Misfits could use that nano boost, but you'd really love to have either the Earth Shatter or, put it on Nivix and let him go to work with a Death Blossom. He does not have that. They do use that nano boost, and Nivix going to be able to get one, soon with one as well, and it's going to be AKM trying to fight for his life inside the server room, going to lose that engagement to Crew. And you see the payload, just members of Misfits all on top of it. Nox going to fall. The payload inching closer towards that first checkpoint.
Nevic's able to get through a pretty rough situation there, and now you take a look, he does have Death Blossom here and at the ready, standing here on the top, has it, holding onto it, just using primary fire, and this is not great for Rogue. Rogue is definitely throwing good money after bad here once more. And they're going for the miracle, but the miracle not going to happen. Nevic's making sure of that. The Death Blossom taking out two, his primary taking out the third. And Misfits starting to build up some momentum here.
Yeah, and they're going to have the Graviton Surge for the next one, combine that with the Pulse Bomb. So it will be Misfits in a good position, and there's two more players going to drop for Rogue here a little bit towards the end of the battle. You're going to see Nivix get on top of the carrier, and now it will be Misfits pushing this payload up. Nobody in sight right now for Rogue to challenge it.
This is really good for Misfits as they continue their assault. They will have Sound Barrier in the Graviton here in just a moment. They also have a Pulse Bomb up soon, so that combo is at the ready. As Riv taking out wins, so just continue to pile on. Here comes Graviton coming out soon, moving to the back line, throws out the bomb, does all sorts of damage. 4 kills here for Misfits, and Tvik tries to be the hero, gonna get absolutely nothing done. Sort of a sloppy defense coming in from Rogue, and Misfits all over them.
Yeah, and you're going to see Soon just pushing up top, knows exactly where the enemy team's Ana is, going to chase right around the corner, trying to take out Unko. Finally able to win the battle, going to use the recoil, going to get all the way back, and it's going to be Soon trying to put some shots down on the enemy team, just doing a fantastic job darting in and out. You see the movement there from Soon. Fantastic play, just going on a little bit of a rampage here, putting down shots on everyone. Misfit completes the second checkpoint, and they will move on.
This has been an ugly, ugly map for Rogue here so far. It started out okay, but the last few minutes have been nothing short of just terrible. Bad things happening after bad things happening. It's grand Misfits to chain the deaths, but Rogue definitely needed to restabilize a little bit earlier. And Plaza's gonna come down here to AKM. As AKM with the nano boost gonna be able to go in and turn this in their favor, give Rogue a little bit of a chance to breathe.
And Wynn's gonna pick up a first kill there before the engagement starts on the Soon. So you figure Misfits gonna wait till Soon comes back into the fight. A big part of this team, obviously Tracer able to do a lot of nice things, causing chaos on the opponent's side of the map. Also, Crew will have that Graviton Surge. He's gonna call it in. You see Nivix gonna just work around the back. It's gonna be the nano boosted Reaper of the opponents on Rogue. AKM just trying to stay alive there. He's the only one left in the fight. Now you see finally he is going to drop, and it's going to be all Misfits on the payload.
The only upside here for Rogue is that Misfits doesn't have a gigantic presence on the payload, but they do have respawns coming soon, and Nox just died, then chaining the deaths once more. This is soon going to be a 65 in favor of Misfits. They have a Sound Barrier and a Death Blossom. This is very likely to go from bad to worse as Misfits is fully set up to go in.
Yeah, you see Unco right here on your screen, just all the way in the back, knocking down those shots on the teammates with Ana, able to heal your teammates, and you see Nevix gonna go in with the Death Blossom, gets one player there, does not connect with anything on his ultimate. Tvik's going to drop up top. It's actually gonna be Hedan able to take him out as Ana, and you see the payload inching closer, and there's one player out of position for Rogue, and it's gonna be a nice sweep there by Unco. It's gonna be Rib coming in, using that Reinhardt shield, able to protect him, and this may be the final fight, ZP.
This is very likely to be so, unless Rogue pulls a miracle right now. Sound Barrier is out for both teams. Rogue desperately trying to get back in. Earth Shatter coming in from Rib, not quite as effective as AKM, turning the tables with the Death Blossom, moving in, has a triple kill. AKM being the hero right now, rolling right into Misfits, and Misfits going to get pushed back when they were a mere 3 meters away from finishing out the map. And now AKM, he's getting ready to set up here for another trap Death Blossom.
Yeah, they have reinforced with the Earth Shatter, to set him up for some easy kills with that Death Blossom. And Misfits, they have no ultimates up right now. They're going to get very close to that nano boost, should be able to get it, but you do not have Nivix with the Death Blossom to work with on it. You could give it to Rib on Reinhardt, but we've seen the things that Reaper has done with it, and it's actually going to be Reinhardt on the opposing side, and he's going to get the nano boost. You see AKM, he's going to drop on the flank, and they're not going to have that nano boost to work with. You see Reinforce going to drop as well, and look at this. All the members of Misfits assaulting the base of Rogue, trying to get the payload across. Tavik coming out as May, can't get there in time. Misfits gets that third checkpoint with a minute 21 left on their clock.
And that minute 21, again, it's a very important number. It's much more important than if they got 59 seconds. Why is that? That is now because if Rogue is able to come back here on their attack and complete the map with 0 seconds left, they're not going to get extra time for another attack. And that's not a great situation to be in.
No, you would always want another opportunity. And now Rogue has to be a little bit stunned over here. I can actually see some of the players actually inside the venue, and their faces are just not very good, ZP. I mean, they just look down on themselves.
Well, for Rogue, it's just been a tremendous problem overall here, where you look at the FaZe series, they got beat up for a while and then had to dig deep and bring it back. And now in this series here, where Misfits had a pretty darn good attack right now in Gibraltar, it's going to make things very rough on Rogue, where at the very least they have to finish out the map, but then they still have to deal with the next attack by Misfits no matter what. So it's not the greatest situation to be in.
No, it's so much on the line. I know you saw Tavik on King's Row go with the Hanzo. You were predicting they bring it out again. Do you think that's the right call in this situation, though?
I think they might want to play as they practice, although, as mentioned before, it seemed like they were much more effective when they ran the Tracer there early on, and hey, there it is. I think they recognized, they looked at Vods and said, you know what? Maybe the Tracer is better, so Tavik showing Tracer here early on will not be going for that Hanzo Gambit unless he changes in the next 25 seconds. So I like this coming out from Rogue. I think it's a better switch up given what we've seen from them.
Yeah, and I think with how aggressive like Reinforce is at Reinhardt, I feel like you need other heroes that can get up and push the pace with him. And I think having Tracer would be a big help to him, a big help to this Rogue team, as they look to try and take this map number 2, down 1-0 here in the series in the EU Grand Finals. On the defensive side of things, it'll be Misfits. It'll be Soon back now onto Reaper, and Nivix will take May over. So Soon back on the hero that we've seen him make the big plays with throughout the tournament. And now to be up top with Tracer. Let's see what he goes and does with this.
He's almost certainly going to be looking for the Ana here. When Tavik goes in, he's looking to get to the back line, get on the Ana, stop her from getting the early nano boost, and give a little bit of room for Unco to get his nano boost up first. But can be pretty tricky. Definitely can get killed by the Ana if she gets a sleep threat on you, or all sorts of different things. So Life of Tracer filled with peril. Yeah,
and he's actually going to spot the enemy Ana, but it's going to be Crew drawing first blood here, taking out wins. And now you see the difficult predicament that this Rogue team is in. Do they want to stay and fight when Misfits gets aggressive, or do they want to fall back? And they're going to decide to fall back, wait for wins to spawn back up, and get back towards the team. The positive signs for Rogue, Unco does get that nano boost during this first fight.
Rogue right now just poking around, looking for their opportunity. As you mentioned, Unco does have nano boost, looking to move in here in just a moment. Gonna probably throw it on AKM and hope that things work out, as Rogue right now, they're charging in. Nano boost gonna be coming in. Here comes AKM, rolling right in the server room. Absolutely no fear, but absolutely getting not a whole lot done here either. Has to back out. Not the most effective Russian from AKM. And Misfits doing a good job of holding this back.
Yeah, and you see the Blizzard are gonna come down from Nevix, just stall out a little bit of time on the side of Rogue. They're not able to push through that, and that allows Soon to get that nano boost and come through and pick up some big kills. And you see the Maywall come in, going to separate the rest of the members from Rogue from the fight, force them at that point to back up. Good hold there from Misfits.
So here's the real danger for Rogue. We have seen holds before this first point before. Rogue only has 2 minutes and 15 seconds to make this work. They're going up against a lot of ultimates here. Soon is going to be able to potentially be the dagger himself, if not caught out. It looks like he's going to get out, he's going to back out, but there's a lot of ways that this can go super bad. Oh my god. Look at Soon. He's going in anyways, right to the back line, taking out Nox immediately. And that, in the end, not the worst trade, especially given how vital Lucio was to that push.
I was going to say, I think you would make that trade any day if you were the side of Misfits. You get the enemy Lucio out of the game. Obviously, the other team losing a lot of sustain, and you see Rib going in there. He's going to pin Unco against the wall. That's going to be both healers there for Rogue. Lost in the fight. It's going to be Nox coming back off the respawn, so they will get some sustainability with Lucio getting back into the mix. But you see, they are just forcing Reinforce against the wall here. They're going to be able to take him out with these, as you see Soon flying forward, nano boosted, and another good hold here from Misfits. But it's going to be Tavik on Tracer. He's going to have a pulse bomb, wins with the Graviton Surge. Look for that combination to break this point open for Rogue.
They have that combo up, and they're soon to have a sound barrier. This is effectively the game. It is a big break point of the match. Rogue has the advantage. They should win this fight on paper, but in practice it can be much more complicated. The person to watch here is Wins. He needs to set up Tavik really well here with this Graviton. Misfits, they need to spread out, but here we go. Graviton is out, Pulse Bomb is in, and Tavik gonna get only one with that.
Yeah, now he's going to try and stay alive here. He's going to be caught inside his teammate's sound barrier, so going to have that extra shield, but you see only 20 health. Oh, tries to dart towards that health pack. It's not there. His teammates are picking up some kills, though, doing a nice job. This Zarya barrier keeping him alive. He's going to get healed all the way back up to full HP. Rogue doing a fantastic job supporting Tavik there in that situation, helping him and a few of the other players pick up some kills, and they're going to get that payload to that first checkpoint.
So for Rogue, that was a must-win battle. They did win it. Misfits, it was good positioning by them not to get completely wrecked by the combo, but even just losing one person is a bit rough to recover from, so still works out, and here we go. Nevic's going back in for the defense, able to take down Wins. Misfits might be able to reestablish pretty soon here as they move in, get an extra kill, and that's going to be a full reestablishing here for Misfits.
And Rogue does not have a ton of time here, this second phase. I mean, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. In Overwatch, that can go by pretty quick because these team fights happen, whatnot, and you have to play around your ultimate abilities. And one or two go wrong, you're kind of scrambling there in the final minutes or so. So Rogue in a tough spot. They do have ultimates to work with, but look at Misfits. Everybody with their ultimate abilities. Expect them to stagger those. Not going to use all of them in this next fight.
Well, Soon right now definitely looking high five heat, and he's going in. Nano boost out. Soon is in. Picks up immediate 2 there with the help of Crew. Rogue gets a few kills of their own with the Nano Reaper, but it's not quite enough. That exchange firmly won by Misfits, and again, it's been Nano Reapers all day long. It's been really effective, and Rogue, they're down again to 1:45, so they're, again, not really in the best situation here in the hangar phase.
Yeah, and Misfits actually saves on to a few ultimates here, so they save on to the Graviton Surge and Maze Blizzard and the Earth Shatter as well. So 3 of their 6 ultimates going into the fight, they save. And those 3 ultimates are very good at stopping nano-boosted targets. So see, when Rogue gets that nano-boost back yet again, they're far ways away from it. They would use it, but a Flame Strike is actually going to connect from Reinforce onto Zeb, and that's going to be a big kill, taking out the enemy Lucio first.
Right, and Misfits, they are moving in. Tavik was able to take out Soon early on, but Crew holding in there, taking on Reinforce, and the late Graviton comes in, gets 3 people in it. Is the follow-up there? AKM and Nox will live. The counter Graviton coming out now from the side of Rogue as they set up Tavik for the double kill Pulse Bomb.
And Tavik's going to finish off a 3rd. Big kills there. Now it's going to be Rogue finally reclaiming control of the payload, pushing it forward. AKM switches over now to McCree. So you're going to see some McCree action come out. He's going to have his Deadeye. The sound barrier comes in. Here comes the Deadeye. Not for long, though. It's going to be Rib connecting with an Earth Shatter. Wins, though, in the feed, picking up 2. And look at this. Tavik wins and Reinforce cleaning up Misfits. Does not matter what ultimates you use. Rogue is too strong right now, pushing through to that 2nd checkpoint.
That was a mistake by Misfits. There's no other way of saying it. They weren't going to have the good position needed in that fight to really win it. Rib ends up throwing away his Earth Shatter. Now instead of Misfits being able to defend really far up by the hangar door, something that's really hard for teams to get through, Rogue is going to have the run of it. They're going to be able to get up here, get onto the ramp, and let AKM get the high ground here. So it's not... I'm not a fan of how that went down for Misfits.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen teams struggle here on this last point, trying to get it all the way to the end. What is, the best strategy from the offensive side?
Best strategy from the offensive side. Hold that thought. AKM right now on the top. A nano-boosted McCree is able to take down Soon. Reinforce moving in on Crew. 3 kills here from Rogue, and they're able to do it. The best strategy here to go in, a lot of times it's just getting people to the back line, splitting things up, and not letting one team dominate you at the choke. And that's what they're able to do there because of Misfits throwing things away right at the door.
Yeah, and I think a lot of teams actually struggle like right at the end when they're about to get the payload in. I know you can spawn up and you can either come from the left or the right, and just focusing fire on both sides. Very difficult. It's going to be AKM using that Deadeye, looking for players coming out of the spawn. He's going to be able to get one. Now it's going to be soon Nano boosted. Reinforce pushes him all the way out of the fight. See the Graviton Surge come in. He's going to have to use his Death Blossom in this scenario, trying to keep his team alive. He is going to fall, though. Reinforce going to get Nano boosted. Zeb coming out of the spawn for Misfits. Now it's going to be Crew switching over to D.Va, trying to just contest here in the final seconds, and Misfits is in trouble.
Misfits is absolutely trouble. The Sound Bearer coming in just for good measure. So here's what's going to happen. We are going to go into a time bank overtime. Rogue is going to get topped off to 1 minute. All the extra time they got in terms of topping them off will also be added to the side of Misfits. Misfits is going to have significantly more time going into this overtime to get the payload further, and that's a bigger deal on Gibraltar, given that you don't have to cap an early point. It's just how far you can get this payload. So Rogue definitely not in a great position here. I would say Misfits is in the driver's seat, and Rogue is going to have to come out quite a bit stronger.
And when you say add evolve the payload maps, this is one where, getting that first point's a little bit harder than the rest?
It is hard to get it. It is harder to get to that first point relative to others. But the big thing here for Timebreaker, it's just pure distance. So in regards to that, the extra time comes in a little bit more in handy. There's no early choke point in terms of an early capture, like say King's Row or something like that. That's going to drain a lot of your bonus time. So the extra minute that Misfits has here, I think, is a little bit more valuable than say King's Row, Hollywood.
Yeah, the one you would compare it to how it works is probably Route 66.
Yeah,
the closest comparison, and
or Dorado.
Yeah, or Dorado as well. And we have not seen a lot of Dorado today at all, by the way. It's weird, right? Now that you bring it up, it's like, oh my god, I completely forgot Dorado was like even in.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because earlier in the week, especially in NA, we saw Dorado basically every series, and Dorado not getting the most popularity right now in the EU stages. So either way, it is going to be Misfits here on the defense. They have more time. That's how it works. Rogan need to make the most of this here. And Tavik, we saw him have a great run of this in this very similar situation. We'll see if he can do it again.
And AKM is going to stay on this McCree, so it's going to have no Reaper on the side of Rogue. You've seen Reaper just be so effective for multiple teams, but going to try and get a little bit more range DPS here out of McCree, as you're going to be able to knock down these shots at range, and also the flashbang, a very good tool in McCree's kit. Able to stun some of these flanking characters, stop people from calling in their ultimates. And here comes, it's going to be the guys on Rogue with a little bit of a flank. Nice shots there from AKM, able to finish off Hedan. Nivix turns around, some big shots there coming in out of Anna on the side of Rogue. That's Unco knocking him down on a Nevix, and the payload is now moving. A nice push there from Rogue at the beginning.
Are we seeing this again? Rogue right now, a whole lot of momentum. They should be able to get to the next checkpoint relatively easily. This is the case for Misfits. Absolutely should not be contesting this point very heavily. They should wait till they have a full 6. I don't know why they're running out like this. This should very easily backfire. Reinforce moving in with the Earthsharer, knocking down 2. Rogue, though, not able to get the punish here as they were looking for right away, but it does end up happening. They get the 3 kills, and Misfits trying to make the most of it, but they are on the losing end. Yeah,
now Soon comes in with the nano boost at the end, but he's quickly dealt with. It's going to be Rogue staying on the payload, keeping it moving.
This is intense. This is overtime. Now they have to stay on it, but Misfits, this is a bit of a collapse. All they need is one team fight to stop this from rolling, but Rogue does not look like they have any brakes on this train.
Yeah, and we'll see what Misfits does here to stop Rogue from pushing this payload. Nevix has that Blizzard. You expect them to try and force the action on the payload as soon as possible. It's going to be AKM now, nano boosted on McCree, trying to knock down these shots. It's a hero we don't see get nano boosted that often. It's so difficult when you're moving so fast with McCree to knock down those shots. Soon, though, picks up 2. AKM needs to go big for Rogue. He's able to get 1, not going to be able to get another. His teammates are falling, and that will be as far as the payload will go.
We have an update. We found the brakes for the train. They were labeled AKM. Labeled soon. Yeah, so the interesting thing about that, so what they were looking for when they did the Deadeye Nano Boost is that it lets you get the Deadeye off a little bit quicker, and their goal there was just to get the quick 2-3 kills and do that, but unfortunately Soon had other plans as he went in.
Now you can see. Oh, the Envy boys.
They're
Working
just sitting
in the
there
back.
scouting out the competition, saying, look, we face the winner here, and they do. Whoever ends up winning the series goes up against Envious tomorrow on TBS. It is going to be awesome.
They're probably just looking for restaurants that Hastro could take them to for dinner. They're trying to get some nice steaks as soon as Stro gets in. It's like they're laughing, but that's exactly what they're doing. They're waiting for Stro to get here.
Do you notice
for a
Tailspin
nice
just
meal.
nodding, not even laughing, just sort of doing the back and forth head nod, like he knows.
And Stro, by the way, if you're watching, I want to be invited to that dinner as well. Because I feel like I know Hastro so well over the years that I know he can take me out to dinner once in a while. See Gibraltar from the outside. Did not realize you can go so far out from these maps, ZP. I mean, just unbelievable. What is Gibraltar supposed to be? It's supposed to be like a...
It's a base in Iraq.
Really?
It's protected from aerial bombing or something. I don't know. I don't actually know the lore behind Watchpoint Gibraltar, but former base of Overwatch, Winston lives there, eats peanut butter, that sort of thing.
Yeah, somebody told me Winston was from the moon as well. Must have been Golden Boy. I don't really know how much I trust him with that. But it'll be Rogue now on defense. AKM sticking on McCree. Tavik going with May. So those are the two things you'll see. AKM can play a multiple of the offensive heroes. Tavik was running just Tracer. Now he's going to be running the May, and you see Misfits trying to force some action. It's going to be soon running Tracer again for them. And what would be the best course of action for them to go? Well, it does not matter. As some nice shots from AKM take out soon, so you expect them to wait for him to come back before they start forcing the engagements.
They definitely don't want to fight without Soon here. It's one of those things where this is going to waste a lot of time that Misfits had. It was a great pick off by AKM, and the key here for Misfits is that they're going to need to get one attack that lets them take this first point really quickly, and then they're going to need to keep chaining deaths, go for momentum to keep the payload moving.
Now you see, it's going to be Misfits on your screen, taking that high ground. Now they're going to drop down. You see how devastating McCree's flashbang can be against those low HP characters. Soon drops down. He just gets erased by the Peacekeeper of AKM. And now you see that Maywall coming up. You cannot run away. You cannot hide. Zeb is going to drop. It's going to be Rogue holding on the defensive end. And now Unco has some ultimates. Reinforce has that Earthshatter. They're looking in good shape.
They are looking absolutely good shape, and AKM right now has been Soon's bane. Soon has not been able to get anything done, just getting absolutely dominated right now by AKM. And this is the final attempt here for Misfits. Otherwise, Rogue is going to even this up 1-1. Yidan is going to be looking here for the nano boost. The nano boost is in, so is Nevix. Nevix looking to make the most of this, rolling right to the back line, landing shot after shot, but not getting a kill just yet. Rib on the AKM, finally builds a Death Blossom, rolls in. Doesn't get much out of it, but the rest of his team doing really well as Yidan picking up 2 kills in the back.
Yeah, and they had significantly more time than Rogue to push this payload, so it's just so impressive how Rogue did in the first half that we are already in overtime here for Misfits. And if you are Rogue, do you come out and challenge this one more time?
Absolutely not. You still have a buffer in the back. There makes no sense to challenge that. You have to go for just one team wipe. Why not get it on the other side of the hangar? Rogue should hang back here and just look to dominate things with Blizzard as Misfits roll in, and I think that's exactly what Rogue is going to do.
It is scary for a Rogue, though. Misfits does not have to go far. You see the end in sight. Tavik, though, has Blizzard, and you have Noxa with Sound Barrier. You think that Rogue may get aggressive here soon as they are stacked up with ultimates. You see the Graviton Surge come in. AKM lining up the Deadeye. He's able to get 2. Things are falling apart here for Misfits.
Misfits, they are not going to be able to bring this forward. That is way too decisive. Rogue is going to take Gibraltar, and they have evened up the series 1-1. Well played by Rogue.
Yeah, fantastic finish there by Rogue. A great combination of some ultimates. You saw the Graviton come in. AKM sat up on top of the carrier, uses that Deadeye, able to knock down 3, and then after that, everyone just swarmed down on the push from Misfits, able to force them off of the payload, and now we have ourselves a tied series 1-1.
And that's good for Rogue because for a time it was looking awfully grim. They were able to bring it back. And you take a look at their faces there as they're setting up. They look a little bit happier right now, I'd say.
I mean, a little bit. Not much. It's probably pretty intimidating, you know. You saw some of the Twitter back and forth, you know, between some of the guys on Rogue and Envy, you know, to see Envy just sitting out in the crowd, like directly in front of you. Like, they got to see those guys. A little bit of intimidation coming from the Envy boys over there.
Yeah, they just take a look. It's like, is that Envy staring us down in the back? Is that Tailspin thinking about Hastro's dinner tonight? These are all thoughts that go through your mind as you're in a grand final. Maybe not the last part.
Now, you see Tavik with the play of the game. Oh, that summer game highlight intro. I see there, Tavik, playing a ton. I bought a ton of those loot cases. I believe I have this one. I'm a proud owner of it. You see the pulse bomb there, able to pick up 2. One more for his troubles. Definitely took out the Mei there at the end. She was very weak. Tavik with some very nice tracer play.
And he is looking rather intense right now, just thinking about where they're going. Is he wiggling his ears?
What happened?
Was he wiggling his ears?
No, I don't believe so.
I
honestly believe at this point, ZP, you're just going delusional. You're just
I might just be going delusional. I mean, was that Genji right behind them?
No, that was not.
Okay, so there wasn't a Genji behind him.
No.
I'm just checking.
No, you see how calm and collected the guys on Misfits are. And the maps we have left in the pool will be Route 66, Hollywood, and Eichenwald. What do you think we see next?
I kind of feel like we're going to go to Hollywood. That seems to be more of a bread and butter for Misfits, but maybe they want to go against Rogue and cause them to go to something a little bit more exotic. Now, Rogue did win on Route 66 earlier today, but not every team is as well practiced on it. We could see. My guess would be Hollywood, but also wouldn't be too surprised to see an Eichenwald.
Yeah, now, one of the players, I think if we do go to Eichenwald or, Hollywood, both of those maps, I think one of the big players could be Wins. Does a fantastic job on Zarya. What does Zarya really bring to a team?
What Zarya brings to a team is that she's able to give a lot of support in the way of shield. She's able to set up your team for big plays with her ultimate, and more than that, when her shields are effective, she basically becomes a DPS character, so she's very versatile as a tank, as a support, as someone who sets up your team.
And I think Zarya actually, just coming from like an outside perspective, it's like a hero that, like, when you first get involved and you're looking at the tanks, like, I'm going to play Winston or I'm going to play Hog, and you just kind of like write off Zarya. Then as soon as you kind of look into her kit and figure out how to play her well, like, a good Zarya can just be a whole lot of a difference for a team.
Absolutely, and Zarya is one of those characters too where people play on their own, where it being competitive play, just playing casually. It's one of the heroes that actually has more carry potential in the game just because she does so much so well when everything is going your way.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Zarya, I pretty much all I play is like competitive like duo queue, and I feel like, Zarya is like a perfect, also person to duo queue if you're going to like DPS or something like that, and your teammate does not want to run support. I feel like Zarya, you can make a huge difference in the game, but just waiting for these players to figure out which map is next. And when I say waiting for these players, I'm strictly talking about the Misfits. They will pick the next map as they were the losers of Gibraltar. We have a tie series on our hands, 1-1. Talking about potentially maybe Hollywood could be the next map, could be Eichenwald, could be Route 66. Which map do you think favors Rogue the most, like out of those remaining maps?
Of the remaining maps, which map favors Rogue? It's hard to say. I think even though Misfits likes Hollywood, I think Rogue is rather good at it as well. Route 66 is, I think, a bit of a wild card, and so is Eichenwald, because you think about the history between these two teams, there's not that many games between them on 66 or Eichenwald. Route 66 because really teams didn't go for it all that much. It wasn't a map you saw that often at map pools, and Eichenwald because it's so darn new. So I don't really know who the favor on that. I think I maybe give a slight edge to Misfits in Hollywood, but even that is a little bit tenuous.
Yeah, and I feel like, some of the things we have seen on Hollywood, from either side of things, we've seen, great Reaper play just throughout the tournament. I feel like Reaper, just a big difference maker throughout the weekend. We came in expecting this to be, 3 tanks, 3 supports. That's what everyone was prepared for, and Reaper has just ended that entire meta single-handedly, getting nano boosted, using that Death Blossom to his advantage. What would be the way to go about potentially even stopping something like this? Reaper just so dominant in the current meta.
Stopping Reaper right now, it's difficult. I think the best answers we've seen are things like saving Earth Shatters, saving Gravitons, where you see the Reaper coming in, you can do something to just keep it out there. And, oh, wow, I didn't know Reaper was...
Don't fear the Reaper. I get it. He actually, this looks like something from Scream. I was going to say for a second, I was like, I don't know if this is photoshopped, and then you kind of see, the leather jacket doesn't really go with that hood, and the Reaper just really doesn't have a face, doesn't really kind of mesh with the other people there who do have faces.
That guitar actually transforms into a knife. Of the 3 people here, that was the last photo of them living.
Okay. I could totally see you rocking a mustache like that guy on the far left.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't want to let it go that far. I have a very love-hate relationship.
You should. I think you should fully commit to the dad mustache.
The full dad mustache. I mean, if you already have the dad jokes, why not bring the dad stash?
Like the dad minivan, 2 kids mustache. I feel like that would suit you well.
Maybe in my future someday. We'll have to see. 2 months later.
Yeah, not far away, but we will be waiting. Obviously players just trying to take their time, figure out which map suits them the best. I know we've broken down some of the heroes for you guys. We've broken down some of the map scenarios, and it will be Route 66 coming up next from Misfits Pack. What do you think of that, CP?
Route 66, again, I think this is a case where I don't think either of these two teams necessarily that comfortable on here, but maybe Misfits saw something with the way Rogue played it where they figured, all right, we can do this. FaZe wasn't able to do it, but Misfits might be able to, and we'll just have to see. I don't think there's anything too more in-depth that you can go. It might be the case, too, where maybe they're just more confident in, say, their May play if they want to pull that out here on 66. A lot of ways of going about it.
And Route 66 will be the third map in the series, the swing map between these two teams, trying to get a spot in the grand finals on TBS on Friday night. It's going to be Rogue going up against Misfits. The two maps we've already played, if you're just joining us, was King's Row, which Misfits won the first one. Then Watchpoint Gibraltar was game number 2, which went in favor to Rogue. And now we can see Rogue will be on defense to kick things off here. On the offensive side, do you expect Nevix to stick with that Genji? Is that something he runs quite often?
I wouldn't say he runs it quite often, but he plays it pretty competently when he does. Genji, of course, in general, not something you see every day in this meta, unless you're Shadowburn, in which case you do, in fact, see it every day in almost every map.
Because Shadowburn's a god.
But Nevix, I think he flows like water to the situation. In this case, they want to use Genji more than likely just to help in going in on top of Rogue as Rogue is defending on the gas station. Because for those who don't know, defenses here will usually get on top of that gas station, hide behind the shield tank if necessary, and go from there. But Rogue not actually running a Reinhardt here. They're going to be a lot more aggressive on this defense.
Yeah, so you expect, when you see this map come up and Rogue going to set up right on top of that gas station, you would want a Reinhardt there to just be able to poke behind the shield like CP was talking about. But because you don't see that on the side of Rogue, expect them, they potentially could get a little bit more aggressive.
It's very likely that they're going to get more aggressive, and that's an interesting way of playing this. There was a time where we saw more aggressive defenses than not, but running without Reinhardt is really risky. We'll see if it pays off for Rogue here.
Now you see Payload just getting around the corner and Reinforce going to attack. He drops down as a Winston, and he's going to get bubbled by his friendly Zarya, so she's going to earn full charge. AKM in the back line, though, with McCree, knocking down shots, putting tons of damage on the opponents, and it's going to force the Misfits to back up.
And also is going to force Nevix all the way back to spawn. And AKM versus Nevix is going to be a key battle here, one-on-one. It's up to the McCree to stop the Genji from doing crazy stuff, and it's up to the Genji to get on the McCree and not let him get those easy shots. But either way, Misfits are still making pretty good progress as they move in, even though Rogue is getting the pickoffs at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be AKM using that Deadeye. He's only able to get one with it. Soon pushes straight past, takes out both supports for Rogue. He's going to work his way back towards the payload, picks up one of the offensive heroes. The pulse bomb comes in from Tavik. Tavik trying to stay alive, just runs right into the shotguns of Soon. The payload moving in favor of Misfits, and you have sound barrier now for Misfits coming into this next fight. On the side of Rogue, you do have that nano boost getting charged up soon. It's going to be Unko at 87% and climbing. Now he has it. You expect it to come in here.
All right, Soundbear coming in here from the offense as Misfits rolls it forward soon. Death Blossom out, doesn't get a whole lot done. AKM with the counterfire here on McCree, picking up 3 kills. It's 4 kills, now 5 for AKM, getting all the cleanup he needs to get and more. AKM showing up big.
Yeah, and he has his Deadeye yet again. A good hold there from Rogue. They have to invest the nano boost into it, but they get a pulse bomb back and Deadeye as well. The side of Misfits, you have that Earth Shatter, and now you have Dragon Blade. And how would you like to see the Dragon Blade used?
Dragon Blade, I just think Nevix has to wait for the rest of his team to go in, come in from the side, use Dragon Blade, and really just take out AKM first. If he doesn't, AKM is going to do terrible things. And AKM opening up here with the Deadeye. Skulls popping up. Skulls going away as the team gets zoned out. Not the worst for AKM in terms of making space, as Reinforce able to take out Henan. He was caught off guard.
Yeah, and you see AKM trying to take out this Reinhardt, finally able to put him away. The Dragon Blade, though, comes in from Nevix. AKM has to play a little bit further away, does not want to get in Genji's range. You see his teammates doing a fantastic job, though, contesting that payload. The Graviton Surge going to come in from Misfits. Now it's going to be AKM Nano Boost. It gets taken out by Zeb there. Lucio going big, picking up some kills on the payload, and now It's going to be Rogue, though, storming back, has some teammates off the spawn. They're going to drop the sound barrier. Is Misfits. It's going to be Nivix trying to pick up some kills. He's going to get tagged with the pulse bomb. And look at this. We have one member just sleeping all the way on the other side of the map. It's going to be the payload contested here by the side of Rogue, but it's going to be the Misfits side using that nano boost to great effect. It's going to be Rib with one, Soon with two, make it Rib charging into another. That's going to be 4 kills. You expect them to push the payload to the first checkpoint.
What a fight, what a turnaround. That was looking good for Rogue for a moment, but Misfits able to switch that right back in their favor. They're going to stay alive there, and they were really running out of chances. So that was very important that they won that fight. And it doesn't leave them a whole lot of time here for a second. They have maybe 3 good attempts here. So Rogue definitely with the ability to stop Misfits pretty early on this map if things go well. And let's see if AKM can get a good flanking Deadeye here once more.
Well, it's kind of like what we talked about in Gibraltar, right? Taking that first checkpoint is pretty hard to do. It doesn't leave you a lot of time here to get to the second one, and AKM able to knock down some shots from the bridge, and this is where he can be very powerful with McCree. The Deadeye comes in, gonna have a little bit of a speed boost here, and he's gonna try and actually locate Nevix. Does not do so, and now Nevix gonna be able to take out AKM, and he uses his Dragon Blade.
Misfits right now regaining some momentum, reclaiming some speed. 4 kills to them on this fight. It's still Tavik running around being a pest, but he's not going to be able to get too much down there. Tavik ending up going down. And Misfits, they're in good shape, and you want to take a look at Soon here. He is going to have Death Blossom up in a moment, and this is one of the harder areas for defense to reestablish in a game. They have to go through a narrow corridor to get back to this fight, and Soon, he is creeping, he is setting up. He needs about 1 primary fire shot, and then he is going to be able to spin right into Rogue. We'll see if he can get that support.
Yeah, and Rogue is going to come out and challenge this. They're actually going to nano boost their Tracer, and now it's going to be Soon at only 68 HP. Needs to get back to his teammates, need to get some more support. And now with the sound barrier coming in, he's going to have all that shield that the Lucio ultimate provides, but does not matter. He falls. It's going to be Nivix now trying to do damage over by the payload for this Misfits team. He's going to be nano boosted, just doing a ton of damage on all opponents. He's going to be able to finish off with some teammates here, these last 2 players, and push the payload.
Nevix keeping it moving forward. We'll have the Dragon Blade up here in just a moment. And again, it's Misfits staying alive. If they get wiped out here before getting into second, that is going to be it. They will absolutely not be able to come back in, but soon maintain the momentum. Nevix being a distraction. They will get to this point, and they buy themselves another minute 40 to try and bring this payload to its final destination.
So now on the final checkpoint, this is one that we've seen teams struggle with before. It's very difficult, just pretty much just one straight narrow hallway. And Soon set up top, trying to break this setup from the side of Rogue. He's gonna, oh, for a second there, I thought he was gonna let one walk by, and he actually gets spotted there by Genji. Gonna have to retreat towards his teammates. And now you're gonna see Soon get nano boosted on the hunt. He's actually going to be going up against AKM, who is nano boosted on the other side, just going to give up on that fight. At that range, Reaper not good against McCree.
Soon able to get out with the smallest of margins, but the important thing here is Misfits is still making progress on the payload. Rogue is doing their characteristic thing where they're losing but buying a decent amount of time, but at some point here, they're going to need to fully regroup and try and deal with this. Fortunately for them, though, you take a look at the ultimates going to the next fight. Sound Barrier, Death Blossom, Earth Shatter, all for Misfits. They do have an advantage here if they use it right. Soon, though, went in for the flank, almost got punished, had the retreat, full HP now, and here we go, they're speeding in. Soon moving in, Death Blossom on the way. Gonna meet the Earth Shatter instead, not getting a whole lot of anything.
Yeah, and it's going to be reinforced with a nice Earth Shatter there, then a pin against the wall. Now he's going to put up a shield, let his teammates do the rest. AKM hiding behind the Reinhardt shield, able to pick up 2. It's going to be Tavik now with Dragon Blade. 20 seconds left for Misfits. He's going to be the playmaker on the defensive end.
Tavik with the ability to dagger this game himself. Crew's gonna be looking for the Graviton, but if Tavik can get behind all that and get on the Misfits backline, it would be huge. He's doing just that. Nano Boost is out, Dragon Blade is in, taking down Hedan, looking for more, slicing and dicing, has 2. It's not a one fight here by Rogue by any stretch of the imagination. Misfits is still holding on. They've gotten quite a few kills on the backline. Tavik was really the only one doing anything towards the end, and Misfits is still alive, X.
Yeah, but they do have Winz's Primal Rage when Rogue comes back into this next fight. Nivix has the one of Primal Rage for the side of Misfits as well. Let's see how both of these players use that ability. It's going to be Nivix diving in. He's going to get that barrier from his teammate Zarya, and he's going to just dive in there, just trying to toss players from the side of Rogue in every direction. Players going down. It's going to be AKM picking up 2. Tavik with 1 more, just putting in a ton of shots on Winston with Reaper. Fantastic play here from Tavik and AKM, and they hold off for the final point.
That is quite the hold at the very end. Now, it's not the best of holds. It's definitely something that Misfits on their side can come back and beat. But Rogue, they kept their defense together. They were very close to getting a first point hold. So a little bit back and forth, but overall I consider that more of a win for Rogue than I do for Misfits. But we'll just have to see how things work out as we switch off sides here in just a moment.
Yeah, so what do you think went wrong there for Misfits at the end?
Honestly, it's one of those things where I feel like it was less them and more just Rogue had some really nice approaches to their defense. You take a look at what Tavik was able to do at points. Even though he didn't get as much on the very final part, there was just a lot of contribution coming in from Rogue, particularly from AKM as well. So I put that just more on Rogue playing really well.
Yeah, and I think some adjustments at the end for Rogue as well. I mean, Tavik switches off from Genji, goes over to Reaper, and picks up 3 kills there at the end. I think that was a huge play there by Tavik. You know, Reaper was so deadly against the tanks of Misfits there. They try to get that final point. Now we will switch sides, and it will be Rogue attacking. Now, I know the goal pretty much set towards the end of the map. Rogue needs to push the payload the distance. What do you think we see from Misfits on the end? And that is the exact goal we are looking at that Rogue needs to get to.
It's not very far away from where you usually end the map, but there is a slight difference. So technically a little bit easier for Rogue than completing the map outright, but not by much. Either way, Rogue has their work cut out for them, but I think they have a good chance of taking this.
Yeah, so on offense, it looks like Tavik will go over towards Genji. We've heard fantastic things about his Genji play. Excited to see that one come out. AKM has been playing strong on McCree. Seems to have found something that is working for him here against this Misfits team. Now, Misfits go with their standard defensive setup. This has been their tried and true. This is what they've been sticking with pretty much the entire tournament. You see Zarya launching those bombs across the map, just trying to get some connections here early, trying to get a little bit of damage. Not able to do so, and it'll be Rogue getting on the payload. Now they will be pushing it forward.
You take a look at Misfits. They're very content to sit on top of the gas station using the Reinhardt for cover. They're going to make Rogue come to them and then look for the punish. But you look at Rogue, it's going to be Winston Tavik. They're going to be diving in on top. The Winston Genji double team that is so effective. And it's really, actually, we have Wind swapping off. He's not going on that. He ends up going to Zarya. So interesting swap. They didn't like what they saw, decided to move to something else. And Reinforce taking out soon early. Rogue going for a distinctly different approach.
Yeah, now, you know, Winston is very good on the offensive side on this map to put pressure on top of the gas station, and Tavik and AKM just go absolutely ham. You don't need Winston when everyone drops to the floor because they're dead. So you see Rogue able to win those first set of gun engagements with the side of Misfits. So now you will see Rogue with ultimate advantage and moving the card up. Misfits will contest here, it looks like. They're going to be coming out of that small left door, so dangerous.
Here comes Tavik, nano boost in, Dragon Blade out, double kill to start things out, still has more, 2 magic seconds remaining. Everything going the way of Rogue as Tavik picks up 1 more. And they are just absolutely flying through this map right now.
They made that look easy. I mean, getting that first point, we talked about it can be difficult on this map. They made that look very easy as AKM and Tavik went absolutely ham as the DPS players for this team. And Tavik's actually going to switch over towards Reaper. So what is the logic of doing that once you get that first point?
I'm not really sure. I think that it really comes down to the Reaper has more corners they can flank behind, more high ground he can drop down from this point. But the Genji was working out fine for Tavik. I don't necessarily think the switch was needed. And he's just going to look to be a little bit scary here, focus on the tanks and go for there. But here we go, he did with the nano boost, starting things out. AKM, though, off the flank, the Deadeye out, takes down 2. What a flank from AKM to set this up.
Yeah, I know right there, just perfect use of the Deadeye. We don't see it pick up many kills, usually, but comes there on a little bit of a sneak as soon as his teammates force some action on top of the payload. And AKM's McCree has just been absolutely insane here in this series versus Misfits, really making a difference.
So Rogue setting quite a good time right now as they move forward. And remember that Misfits not complete the map. All Rogue has to do is complete the map, and that's it. There is no possibility of an overtime or anything crazy like that. So this is quite a good situation for Rogue. And here we go, Tavik in the back line. Gonna get nano boosted, but then slept. Good night, Tavik. But the rest of Rogue still doing pretty darn well in this situation.
Yeah, now Tavik comes out of his sleep. He's just going to be able to take out Hedan, and you see Soon just trying to stay alive. He's going to get into his teammate's sound barrier. Does not make a difference, though. They use that ultimate, try and sustain, and they get broken with a quickness. Rogue now has 4-minute ZP to get to that final checkpoint.
Rogue has all the time in the world. AKM has a pretty long run here because he just spawned at the old respawn at the last second. But for Misfits, this is going to need a pretty heroic hold to actually come back and win this map. They don't have a whole lot of ults in their bank. Rogue is definitely a good situation. Tavik about to get Death Blossom. I think this is a very tough situation for Misfits.
And AKM is going to get taken out soon coming on a flank, but that's quickly traded out. Tavik going to be able to take out Rib on Winston. And now you see Rogue trying to push forward. See the Zarya bubble coming in on Zeb. Tavik, though, comes around the flank. Nano, Death Blossom, able to pick up 3. The last one drops, and Tavik just causing so much havoc on the Misfits side of the map. AKM has that Deadeye to work with, and there you see the goal in sight. Rogue looking to take a 1-map lead in this EU Grand Finals, and they can see the finish line, ZP.
They can see it indeed. AKM right now in the back half to deal with Nevix out, but the Pulse Bomb is out, and here comes Nevix. Sword is out, is taken out. Nox is looking for more. Misfits with a final strike right now, pushing back Rogue, but Rogue, they're not fully wiped, and they will have a chance to regroup sooner rather than later. So for Misfits, it was a decent attempt, but Rogue is still relentlessly applying pressure. Remember, if Rogue's able to get to the final part here, that's going to be it. They're going to win this 2-1.
Yeah, and it was Wins pushing forward a little bit, trying to get some more charge on Zarya there with the Reinforce, and he's going to fall back. Has Graviton Surge. AKM also has the Deadeye, and Tavik's actually going to switch off of Reaper and going to go to Tracer, so it seems like thought probably need a little bit more aggression, trying to get towards the other side of the map, really disrupt the defensive setup. And you see Nevix, he's going to be actually running Genji here on the defensive side of things. And the enemy Graviton Surge going to come in, and it's going to be AKM using that Deadeye. It's going to get reflected. He's not going to drop, though. And you see, he's in a battle with Nevix, able to take him out finally. But damage is done. It's going to be Misfits able to win this fight. Good hold there from the Misfits.
Misfits is halfway to their goal right now. When Rogue first got here, they had 4 minutes left. Now they only have 1:50. It has been a great job by Misfits to stay in this, especially when at points they did not have ult advantage. Rogue now a bit more on the hot seat. They're going to have to open up here with the nano boost and hope for the best, but Misfits has tools to bring this back. But oh my goodness, the Earth Shatter coming in from Reinforce, knocking down 3, setting up Tavik, and here comes Rogue once more.
Yeah, and soon trying to push through with that nano boost on Reaper, and he's not able to get anything. That is a huge set of kills there. It's going to be a team kill for Rogue. They have everybody right now on top of the payload trying to get it towards this goal. And you see players flying in for Misfits. It's going to be Nevix bringing out that Dragon Blade. He's able to get 2. This could be the break that Misfits needed.
Oh my goodness, Nevix ends up with 3 as a result there. Rogue was flying, but not flying fast enough. Misfits is held once more, and Rogue is going to be down to their final push. Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. The next fight will decide which team goes up 2-1. It is any team's fight. Ultimate situation relatively even, and Soon is ready to be the hero his team needs. Death Blossom at the ready. Rogue moving in, they don't know. Soon moving to the back line, and look at Rogue. They deal with it just properly. AK with the counter surge, and Tavik, the pulse bomb after the Graviton sets up Rogue. Rogue is going to go up 2-1 here in the Overwatch Open.
Oh man, and it's AKM and Tavik there at the end. Soon comes in with the Death Blossom. You saw a Zarya bubble save one of the players on Rogue, and it was AKM able to take him out. Once that happens, they drop that Graviton Surge. The Pulse Bomb comes in of Tavik, and everybody wipes on the side of Misfits.
You want to talk about situation in Overwatch where it comes down to the wire, it's just one fight that decides it all. That is one of those situations. Both Rogue and Misfits fought valiantly there. Either team could have taken it, but it was the great back off from Rogue, not giving Soon what he was looking for on that Death Blossom and immediately retaliating with a combo of their own that just struck Misfits dead. And now Rogue, 1 map away from taking the series and moving on to fight tomorrow on TBS.
And the great story that would be Misfits would end here. You know, Misfits had a fantastic tournament thus far. You know, they come in with some team issues, you know, not able to get everybody here. They play with some stand-ins, but they have played absolutely amazing up until this point. And, you know, still, they have a shot here. Map number 4 will be coming up. They will be able to choose this. So they will have Hollywood and Eichenwald in the rotation. ZP, what do you think we see next?
So for Misfits, it doesn't really matter what map they go to here just because they have to win both the remaining maps. I think maybe this is a case where you go for a comfort pick. You go for something like Hollywood, and then You know your strategies on it, try and execute them as best you can, and then finally let Eichenwald be the final decider. Or you can go for the other logical reasoning and say, Eichenwald, maybe Rogue is going to get a little bit tripped up on it and be on tilt as you go into Hollywood. Either reasoning to me makes sense, but I still feel a little bit more towards Hollywood.
Yeah, and we'll take a look at the play of the match. We'll deep dive more into which map we think we'll see out of the side of Misfits. And it's going to be AKM on that nano-boosted McCree, just knocking down headshots. McCree so devastating in that medium to long range. And obviously, you know, you have that primary fire with the Peacekeeper, those single shot bullets, the fan, the hammer when the players get up close. McCree, such a versatile DPS hero. He's personally my favorite to play. I love playing McCree.
I am right there with you. When it comes to McCree, just absolutely fan. And take a look here towards the end of the last match. This was great. You see Soon going in, is denied, and Tavik coming in with the combo. That is beautiful counterplay that came out of Rogue there, and really just outmaneuvered Misfits to win that.
And it was so interesting. We saw them time and time again. Nano boost AKM on the McCree. I think that's the first time, you know, I've really seen a team commit to it.
I've seen nano boosted McCrees before in the past. It's not the most common combination, but it's actually pretty effective given the damage boost you gives to McCree, how effective his headshots become, how much more deadly his ult becomes. But it's very high risk, high reward because McCree isn't exactly known for his ability to get out of trouble. So you dive on him during that, you can easily kill him.
Yeah, you're going to have to knock down those shots as McCree. Lucky for Rogue, they have AKM, one of the best in the business at it. We will be going to Eichenwald for map number 4. I believe the castle all the way at the end is Anders' house. I believe that's exactly where he lives. He lives in a house that just looked like that.
Anders' house, Anders' suit of armor. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
Yeah, no, I think you'd be very lucky to visit his house, but a very nice village. Set in Germany, I believe. If I was to Germany once, it's not looking like this, but I imagine this is a very different time.
Are you sure this isn't Cologne?
Timeline. No, this is not Cologne, I can say that for a fact. On the side of Rogue, it will be AKM sticking to that McCree. You will see Tavik, he will go over to Reaper, so that's a very good DPS combination for this map. They will be going with Lucio and Ana as the supports, Wins and Reinforce respectively. Will be running the Zarya and Reinhardt on defense. Anything shock you on the offensive end?
Not really. The fact, I guess there's no fair, which we've seen a lot, which is not really surprising, but it would have been cool to see. And really, it's more on the defense here where they're not running the Mei. They're going for the full power. They don't want control on their defense. They want raw killing machines. So Tavik, not on that Mei, going to be looking to just lay in the damage on Reaper, and they feel like that's going to be the ticket to stopping Misfits from doing what they want to do.
Yeah, now Nevik's going to try and push forward. Oh, they're going to catch Reinforce just out behind that wall. They're going to be able to take him out early, and here comes the push from Misfits.
Misfits there rolling in. They have 2 kills to their name as they move forward. This is a great opening because, again, attrition is key in these early offense v defense fights. 3 kills here from Misfits, and it's looking like this is going to be a relatively easy cap for them if this keeps up.
Yeah, you see Soon putting down some nice shots there on his Reaper, and he's going to be able to take out the enemy Zarya. And you see Soon, one of the best Reapers that we've seen throughout this weekend. And it will be the payload being unlocked for Misfits. They will get control of it. You see some players just going to try and push up, not let Rogue get set up on top of this castle area. You know, this is the main spot that we see teams try and hold down. It almost kind of reminds you a little bit of the gas station on Route 66, right? Everyone's standing up on top, looking down. AKM is going to get the Deadeye, see what he can make do with it.
AKM right now is thinking about flanking, not necessarily going to do it just yet. Lots of ways of approaching here, 3 different levels of high ground. AKM just going to go in over the top. Skulls are starting to pop up right now. It is high noon in more ways than one, as McCree is rather high up in the air. Going to drop the Deadeye, ends up taking out Nevix, ending up with a double kill, and pretty good engage here coming out from Rogue.
Yeah, now AKM still putting down some good damage. He's thinking about hunting down the enemy Zarya. As soon as he takes that damage, though, he needs to back up, and he's going to be chased down by Zeb. So see AKM trying to overextend, getting a little too aggressive there. Crew puts down some damage. He's chased down, but it does not matter. Tavik picks up 3 in the fight. Rogue going to hold the payload exactly where it is.
And it's really worth noting that that was Tavik lighting up the kill feed, but that was no Death Blossom. That was just primary fire. He has Death Blossom up from the next fight. He just teleported up. He's going to helicopter down here in just a moment. Misfits has to be aware of this, and Tavik not actually going right on top of them, just going for more direct approach. Nano Boost is out, coming in from the flank, moving into the back. That's going to be a triple kill. Now a quad for Tavik. Make it 5. The sneakiness coming up from Tavik. Didn't go for the obvious drop down, decide, I'm just gonna flank around the side. Why not?
And it was Misfits actually tried to keep the rest of Rogue out of the fight by putting up that Mei wall. Didn't matter. The nano boosted Reaper of Tavik just too strong, just cutting through opponents, just diving right in there. You know, able to use that Death Blossom, just take out everyone on the side of Misfits. Now it's going to be Misfits. They have that Death Blossom nano combination. You're going to see soon on your screen. He's going to get Death Blossom and knocked down at the same time. It's going to be AKM using that Deadeye, but Tavik's able to pick up 2, and they're going to get nothing out of that nano boost.
So you asked me earlier, what is the best way of dealing with Reaper, and I mentioned Earthshatter. I actually think that Earthshatter is something that, at this point, with this meta, should probably just be saved for Reapers. It's one of the best ways of stopping your team from getting absolutely demolished from this combination right now.
Yeah, and I think the hardest part with, you know, saving an Earthshatter is that a lot of the times, you know, the Reaper's just flying from above. It's like as soon as they activate that Death Blossom up in the air, you have like no chance to even use that Earthshatter against them. But you're gonna see AKM putting down some shots here on McCree. He's gonna use the flashbang. The sound barrier coming in here for Misfits, soon with 1. Nivix with another, Crew with a 3rd, and now it's going to be Misfits starting to move the payload over towards the bridge.
Soon coming in big there, Nevix, his tag team partner, they're gonna fully wipe out Rogue. And Rogue, they might have a chance to bring this back, but it's gonna be really risky. They could be at risk right now, just getting wrecked by an Earthshatter if they go through these doors way too quickly. It's a case where Reinforce might not have his shield up as he moves in. And look at this, the flanking Earthshatter's right. Rib knows what he wants to look for, and I think he got much there, if anything.
No, does not connect with anything right there. Does a nice job protecting his teammates from Tavik's Death Blossom, though. You're going to see the Graviton Surge from Rogue come in, but it's going to be everybody from Misfits living through the fight. You're going to see Crew, though, trying to stay alive. Tavik putting down tons of damage for Rogue, and he's going to have Mei right in his sights. Does not matter, though. Nivix with a nice shot there with Mei's Icicles. AKM, though, out of the spawn. He's able to pick up Nivix, and now it's going to be Rogue pushing the opponents back.
Look at that brotherly combo there. One shielding the other. AKM just landing in shot after shot onto Misfits. It is working out. AKM now in hot pursuit. Going to take out Crew with the aid of his brother Wins. They're going to push Misfits back, and now for Misfits, we're starting to get a little bit into the danger zone. You look at how far they have to run here to the point. They have 2 pushes left max, and Rogue is going to be able to reestablish way further up once more.
Yeah, and you're going to actually see on your screen AKM and Co trying to back up, get away from Soon, but Rib coming on a flank as Ryan Hart and as Zeb there. His Lucio player with him. Tavik is just going to back out, concede the point. And now Misfits, with a little under 3 minutes to go, has an opportunity to complete the map.
So what happened there is that Rogue was looking to set up a really aggressive defense once more, but they weren't together, and part of their team just got caught out away from the other, and it's a little bit sloppy for Rogue. If they were going to set up like that, they should have regrouped a little bit more together. They sort of gave that away from free, and now Misfits, they're in on the 3rd point without getting attacked on the double doors. This is the best opportunity they will have to finish out this map.
Yeah, now Soon trying to get into position and make this Death Blossom worthwhile. He's going to use it. He is going to be quickly hit with the kitchen sink of Rogue. Every ability thrown at him. Tavik with a Death Blossom. As Soon comes out, he gets hit with an Ana Grenade. He gets stunned. Then he gets put in a Graviton. Nothing he could do from there. Fantastic hole from Rogue.
Really, really good stuff coming out from the side of Rogue here. And now you take a look at Misfits. That was their best attempt. Full stop. It's really hard to get everyone in and alive right away. And Rogue, the one thing for them, they're not holding the doors as far up as they should. I think they lost a few people. So Misfits sort of getting away with one here, getting back into the building about as free as you can get on this map. And here we go, Soon moving in. Nano boost on the way. Mei gonna give him the slip with that ice block, but Unco definitely not as Soon. Still on a rampage. 2 kills here from Misfits, and they're moving it forward.
Yeah, big kills there from Soon. Jumping up, taking out AKM, and you see it's actually Tavik and AKM switching a little bit here. So Tavik's gonna bring out Mei. AKM gonna jump on Reaper. And now let's see how Misfits tries to complete this map. You had mentioned that Rogue gave up a ton of map control to Misfits. Let's see if Rogue can stop them here at the final moments. Rib with a nice Earthshatter and a pin to the enemy Lucio. And that is going to be a big loss there for Rogue as they lose both of their supports.
Mei right now just getting popped up by her own wall, and this is a big opportunity for Misfits. They are almost there. They just need a little bit more, and they are going to get it. Rogue collapsing at the last moment. Misfits even with a 57-second buffer there, so it's not quite the magic 1 minute, 1 second that they would have liked to have had, but you look at Rogue right now, as you look at the reactions, they're not happy over that.
Yeah, they seem shocked that they were just not able to stop them at the castle at the end. I mean, that is a part of the game that we've seen all weekend, ZP, that teams have struggled with. I would say, you look at payload maps, that may be the hardest checkpoint to convert, and Misfits does it there. It pretty much only took them 2 tries.
Yeah, we haven't seen teams get through there all that often over the last few days, but Misfits was able to do it against Rogue, no less. So Misfits certainly feeling pretty good about that because they did it. They still had time left in their bank. Even if Rogue is able to complete it, they will get that extra chance in overtime. So all the pressure now is on Rogue.
Do you think we see the Pharah Mercy combination out of Rogue? We've seen a lot of teams use that on this map in the past over the weekend, and I think it would be something interesting to bust out here.
I think it's very possible. Tavik, of course, a multi-talented player, really did specialize in projectile DPS at one point between Genji and Pharah, so he's not a stranger to Pharah, but it does look like, if we are to believe what they're showing us right now, that they might be going more with the Hanzo opening, not going with the Pharah Mercy, because some teams, frankly, haven't practiced with it as much. It's more of a recent reemergence in the meta, so not every team has that in their bag of tricks, despite formerly playing it.
You see right there, that is where Rogue will need to push the payload all the way to the end of the map. So Misfits completed it with 57 seconds to spare. I don't know about this Hanzo pick. I would have loved to see something else. They've been so strong on some of the other DPS heroes. I would have even loved to see like AKM on McCree again, and then just bring the Reaper back on Tavik.
Again, the Tavik Hanzo, it's a bit of a gamble. It can work out really effectively. It has in the past, but today I think its success rate has been somewhat not great. So Tavik, though, he's going to go for it, hoping for the best, hoping for that early pickoff. Will the geometry be simple? I'm not sure. Misfits rushing right in the Rogue as they try and get through the archway.
Yeah, and it's going to be Crew taking out Reinforced right at the beginning, soon on Reaper, taking out Win. So there you see Tavik connecting with a shot, able to eliminate Mei. So that is pretty big. The offense spawns so close to this narrow choke point that maybe that they were able to force the engagements here right at the beginning.
And you look at Tavik right now, I'm not sure, what do you think? It doesn't feel like he's getting the effectiveness he's looking for right now.
You're trying to get these first picks here with Hanzo, and he's doing a nice job connecting with his shots, just not able to finish off any players outside of that Mei. And they just, at that point, it's a great shot on the Mei. If your teammates were up, you would have been able to push in. But I feel like Hanzo right now, so situational. Wins is going to be able to get one. Tavik just spamming shots here in the chokes, trying to help his teammates, putting down some DPS, and he does have his ultimate. He's going to let it fly. Not going to get anybody. Guess why? Because the rest of the other team is dead. His teammates do an excellent job clearing out all 6 members of the Misfits, and it's going to be Rogue in their second attempt getting control of the payload. 5 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock, ZP. A lot of time for Rogue to push this.
There is a lot of time. That was really excellent tank play coming out from Reinforce and Wins, able to clear the way, giving AKM plenty of space to go in there as a Reaper and get the picks he's looking for. But look at Misfits. They're here on the top. They have a huge ult advantage. Blizzard is at the ready, Graviton, and a Nano Boost. There's so many ways that Rogue is likely to lose this next fight. AKM has a Death Blossom, but landing a good Death Blossom from here can be pretty difficult.
Yeah, and you don't have a Graviton Surge or Nano to work with. You see a beautiful Mei wall coming in there from Nevix, and it's going to be Crew and Nevix pushing forward. You see that ice block there. Gaining some health is Nevix as he's playing Mei. Just doing a nice job putting down those walls. Dropped the nice Blizzard as well. Oh, actually, no, saves the Blizzard. Sorry, I actually thought he dropped that Blizzard for a second because all the players from Rogue were just stacked up. But it's a good defensive hold there for Misfits.
It's an even better use of ult economy. The fact that Misfits really just used the Graviton, saved everything else. This puts them in a great position. Here comes Soon, diving to the back, ends up line of sighting himself. Not the best jump. Doesn't get what he's looking for, but still, it's 2 kills coming out here from Misfits. Tavik still on the Hanzo in the back looking for arrows, but it's been somewhat of a dry day for Tavik.
Yeah, now you're going to see Misfits win yet another team fight, and Tavik still committing to Hanzo here. Rogue just 1 map away from finding themselves in the grand finals against Envy tomorrow night. And they have a lot of ultimates to work with here. They will have Sound Barrier, they will have the Nano Boost, AKM will have the Death Blossom, and you have Wins with that Graviton Surge. Let's see if the guys on Rogue can make anything happen with it. It's going to be AKM. As soon as he goes for the Death Blossom, he is going to get hit with an Earth Shatter, but it does not matter. He gets right up, and he is starting to charge through opponents, picks up 2. Now Rogue trying to push this payload forward. Need to get rid of these last two players here. It's going to be soon. Using his Death Blossom. Doesn't get anything for his ZP. I think you could have saved that.
Definitely could have saved AKM. Still with the shots. Oh, man. Ribs not only trying to get away at the end, but taking AKM on a ride with them. And I think the interesting thing there is that was a really nice Earth Shadow from Rib to stop AKM for a moment, but there was no fall through, and AKM just got right back up, still had Nano Boost on him, and brought the pain right after. So Earth Shatter, definitely not a panacea for dealing with those sorts of situations.
Yeah, now you're going to see the Graviton Surge plus Hanzo ult come in here. It's going to be 3 kills for Tavik, 1 for Nox. And now they keep pushing forward, and that may have been why they stayed on the Hanzo.
That is one very well-fed Dragon, as Tavik finally getting a good moment here, set up by Wins. Still just looking for these pickoffs on Hanzo. I'm curious to see if he's going to swap here in the end, but remember, this is the most important moment for Rogue here. They need this to go well. They're not guaranteed to get beyond these doors a 6 at any other time other than this. They're all through. Let's see what they can do.
And you kind of wish they had some ultimates here at the beginning to like secure this first team fight, making it so important. AKM, he's going to use Death Blossom combined with Nano Boost, and you see Rib, he's going to be Nano Boost, and he's just going to run, try and play his life here as Reinhardt for Misfits. And you see, though, it's Rogue just making a ton of headway, moving inside of the castle. AKM is able to take out one of the tanks in the back. He's going to be taken out from the spawn, though, by Zeb. But you see, it's a good push here from Rogue. Now you have Reinforced getting close to that Earth Shatter, and Tavik getting close to that Dragon of Hanzo yet again. You could combine those.
They could indeed, and here comes Rogue trying to push this out. Tavik able to get on the soon, Rib able to get on the Reinforced. Relatively even right now, as the payload is 0.66 away, as so ridiculously close. Misfits, though, able to hold on at the last moment. That has to be a bit of a heartbreaker for Rogue.
Oh, and you got to think, if you're Rogue, there would have been such a fantastic time. You have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left still here on the clock. Crew and Co. for Misfits needs to go big on defense. Rib has that Earth Shatter. Hedan, though, picks up Wins here first. That is huge. Rogue going to have to back out, wait for Wins to come off the spawn. And you think, you have potentially that Nano Boost. You'll have AKM. You'll be able to fly in there as Reaper. And then, when all that chaos and commotion is going on, you'll also have Graviton plus Tavik's ultimate as well.
All right, so you take a look at Misfits here as they're set up. They do have Rib setting up here for the Earth Shatter. They have Sound Bear on the way. Rib gonna drop the Earth Shatter, not getting quite as much as you would like. Beats are gonna be dropped on both sides. Nox dropping it first. Zebosai saying, let's break it down. And Misfits, the later Sound Bear working out for them. They get the first 2 kills. And they have Rogue a bit on the ropes. Dragon Strike comes in later on in the fight, but Misfits for now, they've killed enough that Rogue very unlikely to be able to push this through.
Well, a minute 55, Rogue still with a ton of time. I feel like they just need to just secure this area right here and just allow the rest of their teammates now coming in to get back inside of the castle. You talked about how difficult it was. Look at that, they back out for just a second, and a Maywall goes down, splits off Reinforced from the rest of his teammates. It's going to be Unco giving him some good healing, though, with Ana. And he has Nano Boost, and you see it's going to go right on to AKM. He's going to use that Death Blossom. 3 big kills. The payload moving forward. The rest of the members on Misfits have to get back towards it. You see a big Earth Shatter coming out from Rib, but it does not matter. There's actually going to be 1 on the payload for Rogue as they push it through with a minute and 22.
So we're down now to a final time bank scenario, 1 minute to 1:22. Slight edge to Rogue going forward. This is anyone's game, and Misfits, despite their very good beginning where they were able to cap it out and Rogue was looking incredibly dejected, Rogue able to bring it back. And now Rogue in a pretty good position, though again, it is really anyone's game.
So it's interesting, when you come into one of these OT time bank scenarios, do you think there's any value in maybe changing up your comp that you had the first time to kind of catch the other team off guard?
Every now and then you can definitely do something that's a little bit wacky. Sometimes people do it on the defense more often where they go, hey, maybe we'll just throw in a Bastion or something to catch you off guard and buy that extra valuable time. We have seen Bastion here on this map before, though usually it's not that effective. Bastion's one of those high risk, high reward things. If you win one team fight with it and then can get up support ult to support it, it's actually not too bad, but it's the problem is winning that first fight.
Now we actually see Rogue now on the defensive end. Funny you mentioned Bastion. I was talking to Anders in the back, and Bastion is actually his favorite hero to play, and he never actually gets into turret mode. He just actually walks around and uses that primary fire. It's a very questionable playstyle. I've not seen anyone replicate it here this weekend. Don't think you ever will. It'll be Rogue on the defensive side of things here, trying to get a good hold against Misfits. A minute for Misfits to attack. They need to make this first push worthwhile.
All right, and we do have a switch up here where Rogue or Tavik is going to be on the main, not repping the Reaper this time. He is opting for the control just to slow Misfits down a bit. We'll see if it works out as Nevix right now hanging out behind his Reinhardt. Both teams trying out poke, looking for just a little bit of advantage that will let them dive in and wipe out the other team.
Yeah, and you see that Maywall is going to actually separate Zarya from their pack. It's going to be Wins that drops first there for Rogue. And you see Soon is going to be able to pick up AKM. Two big deaths for the side of Rogue. You see Reinforced just trying to stay alive. He gets boosted up, has no idea what's going on. He has players attacking him from everywhere. And Nivis and Co are pushing in. They have 4 members here on the point trying to cap this as fast as possible. And they're going to get control of the payload. Only 7 seconds left, so they will go into overtime. Let's see how far they can push it.
I feel like we are incredibly spoiled right now. They got so many matches that go down to this final push. It is on. This is the Overwatch Open, the EU Finals, and Misfits is on the move. How far they will be able to push it, we are about to find out.
Now you will see players from Rogue getting very aggressive here towards this bottom gate. This is where they want to stop him. And you see Soon, though, he is going to be caught trying to get that nano-boosted Reaper going. He's going to come right out of Wraith for him. He's going to dodge AKM for a little bit. They use that Maywall to block AKM up.
Oh, no!
But they don't get on the payload.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
What a mistake! Misfits, not like this.
And I'm sitting here and I can actually see like Reinforced, and he just like looked at me because we made eye contact and he is just shaking his head laughing right now. Rogue has to be so confident. Oh, that has to take the wind out of the sails of Misfits. That is upsetting.
Especially because that fight was going in their favor. Soon was able to do all sorts of work in the back. Now maybe that's part of it where Rogue had more of a focus saying, well, just can't keep you off the cart. It is overtime after all.
So pretty much Rogue will have 1 minute and 24 seconds to get control of the payload and get past the gate. As long as they make it to that point there, they will take the map and they will advance to our overall grand final tomorrow night on TBS.
The stakes could not be higher right now. Misfits fighting for their tournament life. Their best chance right now of staying alive in this is a full hold here on point A. That payload gets moving. It is going to be very bad for them. And Rogue, you take a look at their offense. Tavik still holding strong to that Hanzo pick, going to go for it once more, looking for the variability, and it would be a little bit fitting for Rogue if Tavik came in here and just immediately wiped things out.
Well, I tell you what, if one of his 2 tanks stayed alive at the beginning of the last one, when he picks Mei, they probably push in and take it even faster. So you will see Rogue stick with Hanzo, and now let's see how fast they elect to push this, and they are just flying right at the opponents, and it's going to be interesting. Puts up a Maywall a little bit late there. It's going to be Crew able to take out Unco at the beginning. So a good first kill for Misfits.
It is a good first kill. They're not going to worry about the nano boost quite as early, but AKM not to be deterred, moving right to the back. Shot after shot going to Crew. Avenges his fallen comrade. It's a 5v5 right now on the point. Rogue winning this poke war, pushing Misfits into a bad situation. See how this works out as I can right now. Moving in once more, Reaper on Reaper action, and he overextends. Nevix gets the kill, and here comes Nano Boost out from Soon, looking for the cleanup.
Yeah, and it's going to be Reinforced getting frozen at the front of the fight there. He's going to be taken out by Rib. Soon, using that Nano, gets in. Does not really do much damage, but he gets out with his life. Just disrupts the entire push there of Rogue. And now only 28 seconds left for Rogue to get control of the payload and push it forward.
Rogue, this is their final opportunity here to prevent a map number 5. They will have the nano boost up. AKM almost certainly going to be the target of choice. AKM, you've been doing it all tournament long. Can you win this for Rogue right here? AKM just looking for the opportunity. Nano boost is out. AKM is in, rolling to the back, looking for the main, the Ana. Death Blossom is out, immediately deletes the Ana. It is 2 people down for both teams at Misfits. They're starting to turn it back in their favor, X.
Yeah, and it's going to be Wins just trying to contest here for Rogue. Has Tavik there with him. He's going to use that Graviton Surge. It's going to be Wins getting one, trying to stay alive. And you're going to see Nox and Wins doing a fantastic job locking down the point. Unbelievable play here from Wins and Nox. And oh man, if they're able to hold this down, would be a huge play from those two players.
What a gutsy finish there, 4-point-A. It was so close, it came down to a 2v2. Rogue gutting it out, able to get the payload moving, and now they are just a little bit away from advancing to the grand finals tomorrow. Tavik has the dragon ready, armed and hungry. Let's see what he does.
And I think if you're Misfits, you can't really go into panic mode here. You got to play your game. You have the Nano coming up soon. You got to at least contest at the front. You're going to have the Graviton Surge. Reinforce needs to connect, though, with this Earthshatter. If he does, it is a game in favor of Rogue. And you're going to see the Dragon Strike come out. It's going to be Tavik able to get one. It's going to be a Nano boost on a rib for the side of Misfits, and that kill feed is all red, and it is going to be Misfits holding on there. Wow.
If Rogue is going to have a victory celebration, it's not going to happen on Eichenwald. They had the momentum, but Misfits, powered by Crew in the end, able to deny them and force a 5th and definitive map number 5. We are going off to Hollywood.
Hollywood will be map number 5, and I think after that Misfits kind of mental error, you would have worried, were they able to kind of keep the composure and keep things together? They definitely do. Rogue, as soon as they got the payload there in the final seconds, an unbelievable play by Wins and Nox. You thought maybe, things have switched. Maybe the momentum was in their favor. Maybe they were going to do it, solidify their spot in the grand finals, but that face tells it all. We will be going to a map number 5.
Personally, I think Misfits is just really happy they won that. Not so much for staying alive. I mean, that part's great, but if they would have had to have taken a flight home, blaming themselves for getting off the payload for losing that, I feel like that would have been just all sorts of salt. So for Misfits, they at least get to go to a 5th map.
Yeah, and here we have the play of the match from Tavik. You're going to see he's going to fly through with the Death Blossom, able to pick up 3. Doing a nice job staying alive right after the fact. Now, he has been so good in Rogue, their journey. They do not want this to end here. This is a team that a lot of people expected to be in the finals going up against Envy. They even expected Reunited to be in this match against them, right? Misfits, a true Cinderella story right now, forcing a game 5. And you see the faces on Rogue completely stunned. They need to pull it together soon, though, because this last map going to start up at any moment and can't be going in with that negative energy.
Absolutely not, and for Rogue, it's just they need to regroup. And here is the final moment of the last fight. The Graviton comes in, everyone from Rogue sucked in there, and it's True just going to the back, lasering people down, and that was that. And I think that was a case where it was overtime, but they didn't need everyone on the payload. I think they just got a little bit overeager. They knew that victory was that close. It was so close. The destination was in sight, but Crew just slamming the door right in Rogue's face.
Well, that always happens, I feel like, right in the last few seconds, like you're trying to coordinate things with your team and like everyone's like natural reaction is like, just get onto the payload, right? I mean, just be near the payload, especially after what happened from Misfits, right? You figure Rogue was probably putting extra emphasis like to stay on the payload, and it ends up working against them there. You see all 12 players in the final map here.
So I guess the lesson learned there is a little bit of moderation, right? You don't put everyone on the payload, but also don't put no one on the payload. Just something in between to where you're not gonna get fully team wiped or just lose the game outright because you're not actually doing the objective.
We'll be heading over to Hollywood for game number 5 here in the EU Grand Finals between Misfits and Rogue. Both teams trading off maps in this series. Misfits won game 1 and 4. And now you had Rogue winning games 2 and 3. It all comes down to this on Hollywood.
This is really the greatest thing. They come in here, have the EU final, have it go to a full 5 maps. Some great games here today. I could not be more excited. Let's see which of these 2 teams is going to grit it out and be our EU champion moving into the grand final.
And you will have Misfits starting things off on the defensive end. Blue team always starts off on defense. Soon we'll be running Reaper. Seen him make some superstar plays on that hero. Rogue on the offense side. For a second there, I thought Tavik was going to be going with Hanzo. He's going to be switching things up to Tracer. You like that decision?
I do like that decision. I just think, in general, there have been points where Tavik has been amazing on the Hanzo, just getting pick after pick. We haven't really seen that come out too often here. Sure, he gets some good Dragon Strikes, but I feel like with how good Tracer is right now and how good Tavik is with that character, this makes more sense for Rogue. It's going to be more consistent, and there's a much better chance, I feel like, of them taking this first point outright.
So we'll see the offense kick things off here. We'll jump on with AKM. He's going to be playing Reaper. And as soon as that Tracer gets by to the back, ZP, what's the mental state of the defense? Are they really worried about that Tracer coming on the flank right away?
You have to acknowledge it, otherwise the Tracer is going to rip you apart. But the thing is, the rest of Rogue moving right in from the front off of Tveek's distraction, and they're out poking Misfits right now. Misfits has to back off into the cafe, and they are able to get 2 return kills even while lower on HP. And Soon is turning the tables here with the aid of Nevix. So Misfits, they bend back into the cafe, come back out, and flush Rogue off of the point. Really good positional play coming out of Misfits.
Yeah, they lose Rib in the fight, but they're able to hold on, and they're starting to build some ultimates as well. You will have Rib getting close to that Earth Shatter, soon be getting close to that Death Blossom on his Reaper. And on the side of Rogue, you actually do build Unko's nano boost here at the beginning. So let's see who he gives it to as they get into this next fight.
All right, so Rogue moving in once more. Nano boost is at the ready. Unko not liking his targets for it here just yet. Holding on to it. Gonna let AKM flail in the wind a little bit. 2 kills here from the side of Misfits, and Rogue might need to back out here in a moment. Fight not going their way, even as Reinforce tries to make a little bit of disruption here as Winston.
And I like the patience of not using the nano boost right away. If you don't think you have a good target or somebody, you'll be able to just make it worthwhile. And Unko is just going on an unbelievable tear. Where is he going? Finally chased down in the back lines. I mean, there was nothing he could do in that position, but it's going to just give Misfits some ults here. As you see, Hedan's going to get nano, Zeb is going to get that sound barrier. And now you also have Crew and Soon with ultimates as well. So, Misfits building up a pretty good ult bank.
The war chest for Misfits is strong, and Rogue has to be a little bit worried because they lose this fight. They're going to be on the hot seat, and they're pretty likely to lose this fight given the ultimate situation. You take a look at Soon right now. Does have Death Blossom at the ready, just waiting for the go-ahead, waiting for Zebosai to speed him up and let him move right in with the nano boost. They're going to go in. Sound Barrier coming out here from the offense. Sound Barrier on the defense, and Soon rolling right to the back line, doing all sorts of damage. Only gets 1 kill effectively of Crew, but it's still Misfits with the momentum.
Yeah, Soon getting nano boosted on Reaper. I feel like as soon as he gets nanoed, you have to make him your first priority. If you do not, he is just going to run through your team. So that wins now for Rogue on offense. Has that Graviton Surge. Tveek now switches things up. He's going to go on to McCree. But 1 minute and 25 seconds left. How huge would this be for Misfits if they're able to hold here on the first point?
They would almost certainly win the map. Rogue is on the hot seat, and you look at the ults here. Crew versus Wins. The pressure is on Wins. The first Graviton coming out here from Crew. Pulls in 3, Soon moving to the back. AKM, though, able to get more out of this, is taking out Hedan. And 2 kills here for Rogue, and it's AKM in the end, cleaning up. Rogue will not be held on the first point. They're going to get this payload moving, and they are getting pumped.
Yeah, and when Rogue needs to, they come up clutch. You see right there, AKM able to pick up some big kills. Reinforce is going to have that Earth Shatter going into the next fight. And there it is. The payload now will be able to move throughout the streets phase of the map. Misfits, they will have Rib with Earth Shatter. Nivix will have that Blizzard. You see Soon. Let's see what position he can get into to really disrupt this offensive push with that Death Blossom.
Misfits going to need to come back strong here because let me tell you, Rogue, the motions are running high. Soon though, moving to the back line. Death Blossom out as it's AKM once more getting a little bit more value. Both teams devastated by each other's Reapers, and AKM will take out his counterpart, and Rogue is keeping things moving.
And it's actually hilarious that both Reapers just wipe out the opposing other team, and then they both come back, end up fighting each other. AKM comes out on top. Tveek also there helping him out on McCree. Nox there for the support, playing that Lucio role, so crucial to these teams. And now you'll see Tveek getting close to that Deadeye. Could see that in this next engagement. May want to sit up top with him.
Tveek, a lot of options for this Deadeye, both for zoning or just outright power, but he does have a great view right now. It is a truly high Deadeye that's going to be coming up. High noon in all sense of the word, takes out Nevix. 5v5 right now on both teams, but Soon doing all sorts of work. Nano boost on him, going to be pushing Rogue back. And Rogue looking like they want to regroup a little bit. Tveek might just hang out on top though.
Yeah, once he uses that Deadeye, this is such a difficult spot to fight from as McCree to look straight down and be able to just accurately fire left to right. Very difficult to do. Now you see Tveek just popping some shots in. Oh, and then Reaper is going to be Soon teleporting up right in front of him, gets a beautiful Zarya bubble. So was Tveek trying to get that flashbang, and then that one tap to the head, not able to do so. Ooh. Here comes the Death Blossom from Soon. Nevix going to switch over to Genji. He is going to start causing some chaos as well. Rogue now with only 1:29 to go, ZP. Gotta push that card forward. Do you think they need to change anything up?
They might, but right now ACAM's doing a lot of work, but they're staggering the stuff. ACAM's just trying to get out of there, but the Fire Strike taking him out with authority. And for Rogue, I'm not sure there's too much that they're going to be able to change up here as any sort of craziness. I think Tavik probably going to stick with this McCree. And a minute left here, so you talk about what's needed. Not only do they need to win the next fight here, X, they need to win the fight immediately after that, and that is a rough task. Misfits is in a great situation here, and Drew with the Graviton's ready to go. AKM and Wins ready to go in turn. Every Zarya ult is going down right now. Everyone in the Graviton and AKM with a little bit more, taking down Crew. 2 kills here for Rogue, make it 3, and they are winning this exchange.
Yeah, and AKM going in at Wraithform, just trying to stay alive. It's going to be Rib, though. He is going to get nano boosted, quickly dealt with. Now it's going to be AKM trying to take out Hedan. He successfully does that, pushes forward with Wins. They take out Zeb. In the final seconds, it's going to be Rogue getting control of the payload. 4 players on it. They have ult advantage as well, so that you figure they should be able to win this next engagement, CP. And for all the great things that Misfits did on defense, it seems like it's just crumbling.
It is crumbling. That was a very key fight for them to win, especially with all the ults they now have. AKM off the top rope, going in, the sleep dart! How clutch is that? Completely denying AKM. He does come in a little bit later though at the Death Blossom, taking out soon, but not before going down right after. And these Misfits, they're doing this. Drew with the double kill on Zarya, and another sleep dart. Hedan, the god! This is incredible!
Oh, it is unbelievable the plays Hedan is coming up with. We talked about how Rogue had ult advantage going into the fight. Does not matter against Misfits. They get the hold.
Hedan, for someone who wasn't even on Misfits till recently, that is the most clutch Ana play I have ever seen, and that is not hyperbole. To take out AKM as he was dropping in, to take out Tavik as he was going for the Deadeye, that was incredible. Oh my goodness.
But I will say Misfits does have to focus down here. You know, Rogue, such a fantastic team. Obviously, you saw the success they had at Gamescom. They are not going to go down without a fight. Reinforce needs to just recollect his thoughts with the rest of his team. And what do you think they can do here on defense to really thwart the push of Misfits?
It's going to be difficult no matter what path they choose. There was a point where full holding on Hollywood was almost impossible on the first point just because of how good teams were. It's a little bit more possible nowadays, as we saw where Misfits came awfully close to it. I mean, in the end, maybe they do want to go with the Mei. I feel like the Mei control is a big reason why you've been seeing a little bit better hold rates on here. It's not something that's super needed, but I think it's going to be a better chance than if Tavik ends up going for, say, a Reaper.
Oh, it's pretty close. I mean, Alina, you got to back your car up a little bit there. I'm not sure your insurance company would be too happy with you right now. Your driving seems a little bit questionable. If that is your car, or you could have just grabbed that somewhere on the internet. But yeah, that is exactly how close this match is right now. These two teams so evenly matched going into this game 5. And no, Misfits with a fantastic hold before that second checkpoint on Hollywood. So that is where they will need to get the cart if they want to advance to tomorrow's grand final on TBS. Rogue, all the pressure in the world is on right now on the defensive side of things. And on the side of Misfits, you're going to see Nivix go with Mei. What do you think of that as opposed to, one of his, potential Genji plays?
I think the offensive Mei has actually been pretty good for a lot of teams here. It is good on Hollywood just because you can catch one of the tanks off guard. If you can get Reinforced out of position and kill him early, your odds of taking the fight much, much greater. So I don't mind this at all. They do have to look out for Tavik, who did, in fact, go for the Mei option, as it's good for control here. So we'll see how things work. Both teams getting into it, trading off poke. Ice Wall first coming in from Tavik, and they do get a kill off it. So Hedan going down to start things off with Rogue. Off to a decent start. Yeah, and it's so important when those Mei walls come down for your team. If you trap somebody on the side of it that your team is on, you need to get that target eliminated as soon as possible. And Rogue does a fantastic job taking out Hedan right at the beginning. And you see how fast the Ana ults on either side are charging. Hedan at 74, Gavanko at 84%. Look for those to be a big pivotal point of this first fight. All right, so Misfits recharge, moving in once more. Ice Wall out from Tavik to start things out. Crew, though, on the reinforce. It's 5v5. This is a good start for Misfits. They do lose another, but Crew moving in, supercharged up, melting people. He's been stepping it up the last part, gets another kill with Nevix, and Misfits, they are very likely to get this payload moving.
And actually, it's going to be Tavik getting nano boosted on his Mei. He's there with Nox, trying to keep this one alive. Crew is so charged up on Zarya, putting down tons of damage. He's going to take out one inside of the point. It's going to be reinforced coming back in for Rogue. They're going to be able to focus him down. And this is not looking good for Rogue. See Soon there putting it down a lot of fire. Crew as well. And now it looks like Misfits going to be able to get control of the payload. ZP. Rogue needs to recollect themselves and set back up.
Rogue right now desperately needs to set back up, as you mentioned. The key to this is going to be Wins and AKM, the brothers. They're going to need to come in big to just give Rogue some breathing space here. They do have Graviton. They basically have a Death Blossom. There's no sound barrier up, so Misfits relatively exposed to this combo. Unless Misfits is able to strike first. Crew moving in. Graviton coming out, pulls in two right away. The counter Graviton is out though, and reinforces in. Soon goes down, and Rogue moving it forward.
And Rogue getting very aggressive here on the defensive side of things. They have to be careful though. Once Misfits get some ults, if they're able to just break straight through, could be dangerous. You see Wins though, he's gonna get knocked down by that Earth Shatter. It's going to be the nano boost coming in onto Rib. AKM though there to shut it down. He's going to pick up a few. Reinforce going to get pinned against the wall. So with how close the offensive team spawns, you think Misfits could give themselves a little bit room to breathe here, move the card a little bit.
Misfits is going to get a lot more room here, and now this is the dangerous part for Rogue. They're in a situation where they get wiped out once. They're very likely to lose this. Every fight is absolutely vital for their odds in this tournament. Misfits feeling real good about where they're at, but look at AKM. He's on the top once more. Is he going to jump down off the top rope? AKM moving in, destroys two, looking for more, getting in on Zebosai right now. The sound barrier just not going to be enough to save them from this Reaper assault.
Yeah, and AKM just really makes a big play there for Rogue. They get a team kill, but still a lot of time for Misfits. It's going to be 3 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. You're going to have Crew with his Graviton Surge, and you're going to have Soon getting very close to that Death Blossom. If he can get into position and Crew can land a really nice Graviton, that could put this game away in Misfits' favor.
This is the gauntlet right now for Rogue. This is hard mode. They must hold on for another 5 or so fights, and they're going to have to do a few without all advantage. The Graviton coming out from Crew. Incoming Misfits leading the way, moving right in. They're not able to get the kills off that Graviton, and Rogue holding firm once more. They keep adding these team fights to their tally here, X, and that's greatly increasing the odds that they do this very impressive hold.
Oh, and I mean, they're not really even using ultimates to win these team fights, right? I mean, right there, you know, you have Wins collecting his Graviton Surge off of that fight for Rogue. On the side of Misfits, you know, Soon did not get a chance to use his Death Blossom as he came around, try and put some damage on that Graviton Surge that Crew dropped. But Hedan now with Nano Boost, look to see if they use that to break this open.
Soon going to do perhaps what he's done all tournament long. The Graviton comes out here from the defense, but here Soon gets that backline. Death Blossom on the way, takes out two, ends up piercing through, and that's going to be 4 kills here for Misfits. Make it 5. Soon has done what he's needed to do. Misfits are rolling, and Rogue now on the hot seat. They must somehow get out here and stall Misfits on the verge of going.
Rogue may have one shot at this, but Nevix has that Blizzard. If he throws it in that doorway, it could really slow them down. Could be really devastating to the Rogue squad. And see Nevix setting up top. He's just going to drop down this Blizzard, and you see it fall right there. Soon's going to jump in. AKM, though, the damage is done. He picks up 3, though. Crew still fighting for Misfits here. He's going to be able to pick up 2, but he is the last one alive. He is going to fall, but look how close the payload is to the goal. 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Misfits are so close, ZP, to getting into the grand final.
Misfits are very close, and this next fight is in their advantage. There are no ultimates up for Rogue. Reinforce might get an Earthshatter later into the fight, but that is it. Meanwhile, they have Sound Barrier. They have Graviton. Misfits, they have the tools they need. Can they convert? They're moving in. The Graviton is up, but AKM on the flank is taking out 2. He has done it for the side of Rogue. Rogue with the full team wipe here. Misfits going to have to try one more time.
Oh, it is a disaster for Misfits. They let AKM come on the flank, pick up 3 big kills. Oh man, Misfits Just letting AKM run through you on Reaper right now. They need an answer here, ZP. This may be their final attempt.
This is almost certainly going to be their final attempt. They need to open the sound barrier, but they're going to be countered by a sound barrier in turn. It's going to come down to mechanical play. AKM versus Soon on the top. Soon losing this fight, having to back up with the Ana with the support. Zarya's shield coming out. 20 seconds remaining as Soon goes into the back, ends up getting slept and frozen. Rogue, do they have it in them? It's a big pickoff by Tavik. 2 kills for Rogue. They just need a little bit more. Misfits still in it. Rip with the Earth Shatter moving in. Misfits coming in at the last moment. AKM Step Blossom not enough. And Misfits, they are going to do it. They are on the final approach. They are just about there. Will they win the EU side of this? X, they're so close.
Oh, and it looks like a big Maywall coming in from Navix. The only one gonna get the other side is Unco, and Misfits somehow, when it looked impossible, when it looked like Rogue was taking the fight to them and AKM just ripping them apart, they come back and they're able to win it.
Oh my goodness. Rogue so close to that epic hold. So close yet so far, and it was in the very end. Such a close fight. Ribs hammer coming down, ending the team fight and ending Rogue's chances here in this tournament. Misfits will move on to fight Envious tomorrow night.
And Misfits with just some unbelievable plays there at the end. And Rogue, I mean, the guys over there, they have played absolutely amazing. I mean, Reinforced, AKM, to be just 3 incredible players to watch. They'll not be watching them anymore as their tournament lives are over. And, I mean, they are just stunned. I mean, they had just put so much into that final hold. And in the final seconds, it looked like it was going their way. And it just got absolutely stolen from them by Misfits.
My goodness, I am drained. I stood up during the final part and then ended up falling to my knees. That is how crazy that final fight was. Gotta feel bad for Rogue. They so far coming back from FaZe, being down 2 games. Unfortunately, they will not be a repeat tournament victor. They won Gamescom, but they